What's going on, Internet? The Black Okage here, aka TBH. And be honest, I'd like to welcome everybody.
Hold on.
What I do?
Somebody in the comments said we were like animatrons from Chuck E. Cheese when you started the intro. I
also,
saw that.
Now you want to fuck the intro up.
I'm messing the intro up. No, we're not animatronics.
I get what they were saying because, like, I don't think you guys intentionally do it, but you guys do like these dances, like the Brady Bunch boxes. When I start doing the intro,
yeah, I'm mixing it up this time to catch them off guard. Yeah, I saw your comment, asshole.
Well, we are the Enlightened Gamers, and you're now tuned into episode 185. If you're watching the video version of the show at youtube.com/GI updates, know the show's available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and all other major podcast platforms. If you're watching on Apple or Spotify, please rate it 5 stars. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and then the hype button. I swear we're not making it up. I see some of them comments. Some of you guys are still not seeing it. We're not gaslighting you. It's a real thing. It's just a feature that is not rolled out to everybody. I don't know why. But if you do see the hype button, which usually appears after you hit the like button, please hit the hype button because that'll help move us up the hype charts and help bring in new viewers so they can find the world's best gaming weekly podcast. Now, if you like social media, follow us there. We drop daily content on our pages. We're available on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and Facebook. Our handle on most platforms is at GI Updates, with the exception being Facebook, which is GI Podcast. Links to all our social media platforms will be in the description box below at youtube.com/GI Updates. Now, allow me to introduce you to my first animatronic. He has no shortage of Mass Effect memes on his Twitter page that he likes to retweet. Ethos, say what up to the people.
I feel like I haven't even been retweeting a lot of Mass Effect. Did you see was it the Liara meme?
I swear it's like 2 or 3. Whenever there's a Mass Effect meme on my For You page, I look and it always says the Ethos retweeted. And then I hit retweet.
I will say, I didn't know this, but right now there seems to be a war going on. Apparently, like Liara fan enjoyers are getting sick of Tally enjoyers. Apparently, like we're getting sick. Like apparently, Tally fans are a bunch of gooners now. So I don't know when this happened, but apparently there's been a revitalization in this discourse.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the shipping discourse in Mass Effect. So
yeah, they're bored. Y'all need to release some new gameplay of the next Mass Effect.
Yeah, right.
And my second co-host is excited for the release of the upcoming indie game Replaced. And the only thing replacing that level of excitement is her excitement for Creepy Nuts. Now, I have no clue what that means, so I hope you can explain.
Creepy Nuts is my favorite music group artist probably ever. They're a Japanese rapper and DJ duo. If you've watched like Mashal and heard Bing Bang Bang Boom, that's their song. If you've watched Dun Dun Dun, that's their song. Okay.
So
they just performed at Coachella on Friday. First time they've performed in the US, first time at Coachella. So yeah. Shout out to all the Japanese bros who are on Twitter telling me where I should go in Osaka for some Osaka hip hop culture. I appreciate you. They're not watching this. They don't know what I'm saying probably either.
You never know.
I appreciate it.
Algorithm might. You never know.
You never know.
I appreciate the clarification because when I saw that on the timeline, I'm like, what is this woman talking about? Creepy Nuts and shit. Like,
Watch like be in her old world in her community sometimes, and like we just don't be understanding. We're not in the know.
What's happening?
What's going on?
And last but certainly not least is the man who refused to show us a 3-hit combo in the Invincible Versus beta because he was too busy getting busy at the disco. UTX off the wall, the Don. Say what up to the people.
I'm sorry. I said I would hit you with a 4-hit combo, but I realized that if I did not download the open beta on Saturday, then I couldn't play today. So I'm sad. So I won't be participating in this conversation, but you got it, bro.
Yeah, this podcast, at least for the opening sections, it'll be a lot of solos here because this week we were all over the place playing our own different games. And the first one we're going to touch on is actually Pragmata because Miss Watts has had early access to it. So give us the good, bad, and ugly on Capcom's new third-person action sci-fi game, Pragmata. Is it clanker propaganda, Watts?
If anything, I think it's probably like make your ass a family propaganda. Look at the cute girl. Isn't she cute? Don't you want to have a family too? Yeah, maybe.
Republican coded.
But also kind of, no, I there's nothing woke in it. I was going to say it's kind of woke, but maybe it's not. So I'm not going to go into like heavy spoilers because obviously the game doesn't come out until Friday, and it's when you're watching this, it's Mondays. But I'm going to just talk about like I think the biggest questions that people have is like with the hacking game being a part of the gameplay, you've got the hacking in a 2D space, you've got the moving around in a 3D space. Does that continue to get deeper? Does that continue to hold up in terms of its fun across the game? And I'm currently 10 hours in. I'm recording a Let's Play because I'll be in Japan when it actually launches. So I haven't finished it, but I'm 10 hours in. And both Hugh and Diana's capabilities and abilities unlock further and progress deeper. So you're going to be getting new weapons. You're going to be getting new hacking abilities. You're going to be getting mods. You're going to be getting, when you're in the hack puzzle, you get different nodes that you can go through that do different things. You're going to get all sorts of stuff in there. So that fully expands. There's a ton of weapon variety. And the way that they do weapons is really interesting because they make weapons that make sense with the world that you're in, right? So just an example of one that's not super spoilery is that there's a tactical weapon that you can attach to robots and it will make the hacking puzzle smaller so that you have less space that you need to kind of run around in to hit all the nodes. So you have really, really cool, interesting weaponry that go along with that. And also on the hacking puzzle section, all of the enemies have like a different puzzle area. So some of them will be super long and take up like the whole screen. There'll be like things in the way as you're trying to hack through to the green node. So that's been really cool to see as it really expands. So hacking and weapons both are still expanding a lot. And there are some very tense moments that you get into with gameplay wise, trying to dodge things and manage a bunch of enemies. And you're trying to do like pretty complicated hacking things while you're doing it all. So that has been really fun. I've loved every second of it and I've loved how it progresses. So every time I'm getting to a new area, going to another spot, it feels like I'm making meaningful progression and the game is getting deeper and deeper and deeper every time I go to a new spot. Also, the biomes are unique, even though it's all on the moon. Like they've done a really good job of making each biome look very unique. So that's been cool because I'm not just going through, a space station. It's not just space the whole time. It's got a good variety. As you play, you also upgrade your shelter, which is your home base. So that will give you more upgrades for your characters with power, hacks, etc. There's also like a challenge that you can do, which I won't go into too much, but there's like a training mode that you have challenges that you can take part in to get upgrades and stuff like that. And I'm really enjoying the dynamic between the two characters. It's really, really charming. And I've laughed multiple times and been like, okay, that's really cool, or that's really cute, or that was really funny. And I think that their relationship has been a real joy to watch. And yeah, I think TLDR is that it feels like an old school good game with unique gameplay that I've never experienced before. And it really feels like when you were growing up and you were discovering gaming and you were just falling in love with it and experiencing pure joy, that's what Pragmata is. It's just like straight up really, really, really good video game. I can't recommend it enough. It's amazing. I love it.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel about in the terms of like the challenge of it? Because I know some people were saying the demo was super easy. Does it pick up in challenge?
Yeah, there's definitely challenging parts for sure. Some of the bosses are giving you quite a decent challenge. And then there's also these rooms in the map that you need a key to get into that are like hard challenges. And then they also have training challenges in the shelter that are harder too. But I've definitely just been going through a regular level, not with any of the challenge stuff. And I've had some pretty intense combat moments. So yeah, definitely. I definitely think that there's challenges there.
And based off what you played so far, are you comfortable recommending it day one, or you still feel like you need more time?
Oh, 100% recommended day one. This is just like, this is the type of game that I just want to play all the time. It's just really well made, perfect performance, by the way. I'm playing with ray regeneration, ray path tracing. That's one. Path tracing, native. I'm at like a pretty locked 80 FPS with everything turned all the way up. No performance issues, no bugs, no crashing, nothing. plays beautifully. It's super unique, and it's like Capcom at their best, I think, with a new brand new IP. Yep, I highly recommend it.
Sounds a lot like what I was saying a month ago when I previewed the game, and people were like, I don't know. I feel vindicated.
Nope.
I feel vindicated here.
It's really, really good. I think if you like video games, I mean, I guess I can understand if, you can't get into the hacking and 3D thing, but it's just, once you get into it, it feels like it's a game that's making you use your brain in a way that you don't do with any other game. And that feels really rewarding when you're fighting like 5 enemies in a room and they've all got different hack puzzles going on, and you're using different hacking nodes and you're linking them together and you're exposing their weakness, you're overheating them, you're freezing them, you're switching between all of your weapons, because you can also switch between like 7 weapons at any given time. And when you're using all of that together, it's super satisfying.
I agree. It feels like this game scratched the itch for me that I didn't know was there. And I think that's a good sign of like a good invention or some type of innovation. Like you didn't know you needed the light bulb until you got it. So like, that's why I'm looking forward to the full release. And that's why I'm excited to hear that like you're really enjoying your time with the like early access of the version of the game. We will be talking about it more in depth in next week's show because the full game comes out this week. That means me, Jay, Ethos will be able to get some time on it, and then we'll talk about it then.
If anyone wants to see like my initial reactions to stuff, I will have a Let's Play on YouTube. It's going to be an old school Rad Brad Let's Play on my YouTube channel, so you can see my first reaction to stuff. I'll also be streaming it on the 16th, but that won't be my first reaction.
Did you explain to them why you're doing a Let's Play?
I'm going to Japan on Friday for 11 days. I was going to arrive 4 days after Pragmata came out, but then they moved the release date up to release the day that I leave. So I was a little upset about that. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be cool because I'm in Japan. This is a Capcom game. I'm in Japan when Pragmata is coming out. So I'm hoping there's going to be some cool stuff there for it, because there normally is some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I'm uploading a Let's Play video every day of Pragmata while I'm gone.
So translation, it will be a sausage fest for the next couple weeks. Just deal with it. It is what it is. Y'all got any thoughts on Pragmata before we move Ethos, Jay?
Game of the Year nomination?
I think so. I think you could be nominated for Game of the Year, yeah.
Okay.
I got the hard-hitting question for you. How many hours does it take in order for me to earn my fund in this game?
Lord.
10 minutes. Right away. Right out the gate. Right out the gate, you're like, love this character, this gameplay's great. This is really cool. Yep.
I already knew. I played the demos. I was just asking questions for everybody, but I already knew, man.
That's the problem again. Hey, I saw this morning they dropped another update that fixed like 20 things. I'm like, God damn, for a game that didn't have no problems, it's perfect. The update sure keep coming out.
So you don't need the mod now.
Oh, thank God.
You can just have the camera option.
Well, you're right. Just wait till the end of this month and then I'll finally play it then.
You might as well wait till the end of the year. That's in the final version. Wait for the Game of the Year edition to come out. That would be the definitive one, bro. So yeah, that's Pragmata. We'll talk about it more next week. Moving on, I'm gonna take the floor on this one, and we're gonna be talking a little bit about Invincible Versus. The beta just happened this past weekend. It was 3 days, but they extended it to 4. And the reason being is people were having a lot of fun with it. If you don't know what Invincible Versus is, it is a new tag fighter 3v3 starring the Invincible characters that's popular on Amazon, written by Robert Kirkman. And it is made by the people who made Killer Instinct, not the original ones, but the one that was on Xbox One. And the best way I can describe this game is I would say it is a fast-paced tag fighter that is designed for the casual audience, which is very interesting, the way that this game has been received, because everything about this game, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of the most scrubby ass fucking fighting games I've ever played. Because day 1, I was doing like 10 hit combos. Day 2, I was doing 30 plus. Day 3, I was going past 30, bro. Like I've never picked up combos so fast in my goddamn life. And like I'm not gonna lie, you like Dead or Alive. People like that. You like this game. Little button mashing.
I'm not a Storm player. Hello. Dead or Alive is not a combo game.
Mashers.
Not like that.
This is a Masher's wet dream, to the point where like when you play the game, it's very frustrating because you have to halfway. you have to halfway like respect the mashers, because like you'll jump real high into the air and come down, and if you land at the wrong angle, if they're mashing punch, that's an easy 4-hit, 5-hit combo for them. So like a lot of people don't like that. There's like certain special moves where like if they brick it, I lost a match last night. This dude bricked his special move, but when he came down, he was safe off the special, so I wasn't able to punish the shit. And then I whiffed my hit and I got punished before. That shit tilted the fuck out of me, bro. There's so many tools in this game. There's push block. You can assist defend. There's another one too. There's like 4 different defensive mechanics in the game that can help you get out of a combo. And the conversation around this game on social media is day one, the sweats are ruining the beta. I can't do anything. And all that said to me is a lot of people did not play the tutorial. The tutorial took like 30 minutes. I did it on stream. They have a beginner and an advanced one. And like, I'm gonna be honest, the controls were easy as hell. Like to push block, all you have to do is while you're blocking, you hit R1 and like it'll push back. All you need is some meter. The buttons are so easy in this game. And it just said to me, people did not do the tutorial and they just went instantly to blaming sweats. I think what happened with this game was it attracted a lot. I knew Invincible went mainstream from the TV show, but I didn't know it went that mainstream. I think this game attracted a lot of first-time fighting game fans that had no idea how to play a fighting game. And then you got the FGC sweats on the game already. And then I don't think I'm a sweat. I'm somewhere like, I'm like an above average fighting game fan. Like I can do a little something, but even that was too much for them. And like, they just got frustrated. So what happened was with this beta is rage quitting was just really bad, man. I managed to hit plat 1 in rank. I would have got the diamond, but like I couldn't. So what happened is people were ducking matches when they saw your win record. And then if you were lucky enough to get a match, what would happen is if you were beating their ass too bad, like every stream that I did, at least I got like 3 to 4. One night I got like 5 rage quits. And that's what people were complaining about. Just nasty attitudes. And it's like, if you never played a fighting game, you just got to accept you're going to get your ass beat in this game. Now, that being said, all that aside, I think the game is fun. I think it's fun, and I think there's a space for it if you accept it for what it is. I think it's more on the casual side. I don't know if the FGC is going to flock to this, but on the flip side, if the casuals just grow a pair of balls and hit the tutorial, I think there's space for it to live. Because one thing I will say is this game does make you feel like a badass. I was raging the entire time playing it. You would have thought I was losing. I was winning most of my matches, but I was still having fun, and that's how I knew I liked it. I was grinding the ranked. Because it does feel good to shove somebody in the corner and hit them with a 50-hit combo and ruin their day. But they gotta find a way to punish. They did update it to where the first day they weren't punishing people for rage quitting. The second day you now get rewarded to win it. So they fixed that right away, which is cool. That means the developers are listening. The other thing they got to clean up is the net code was a little shaky. It says there's rollback, but it felt like the matches are 50-50. When it runs well, it runs well. But when it's bad, it's bad. It's not as bad as Mortal Kombat 1, but it's like a notch below that. And then the other thing I didn't like about this game is there's a mechanic in there called sudden death. So what happens is if the timer runs out and you both have a character on the field still, it'll give each character a little bit of health back and you have to run the ones. I didn't like this shit because it had, I think they had good intentions, but once again, the human nature, they abuse shit. What I found was like there was a match yesterday I played that tilted the fuck out of me. I was beating the dog shit out of this dude. I took his first 2 dudes out really quickly, kept hitting 30-hit combos on him. He had 1 dude left. I had him at half health. I think it was Battle Beast. He just kept walking back and playing defense. So then I'm chasing him around the map. And then it didn't click until there was like 5 seconds on the clock. I was like, oh, he's trying to wait till the clock runs out so that he can get the sudden death, get his health back, and then we run the ones. When I figured out that he was doing that, I was tilted and I ended up losing the match, bro. Which is on me. I'll take that. But it still tilted me because I feel like the game rewards bullshit. I'm like, all right, man, the game is already easy enough with the combo system. They give tons of defensive mechanics for you to get out of these combos. You just need to learn how to resource manage. Now you're also adding a function in the game that rewards people for being shit. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that, but I think it has a space. It's $50. There's going to be more characters, some type of story mode. I will be picking it up. I had fun with it, but I could see it going 50-50 in terms of its survivability. I think the game will live or die based off the community. I'm gonna be honest right now. The community is top tier trash. Just very, very toxic, very toxic. I've never seen a bunch of group of whiny babies when this is one of the easiest fighters to ever play. Just get on the goddamn tutorial and press some buttons. But anybody guys any takes? Jesse over there smiling.
Yeah, I found it interesting when you and Steve were going at it and talking about what you didn't like. So first of all, for the people on who's listening who don't know, the actual development team said that on the beta, if you grinded the game so much, you ended up being in the top 20 on the leaderboards, then you can end up being in the credits for the game. So that really, I felt like from jump, that kind of really messed up the way that people, play the game, because they're trying to get up to the top 20, and the people who are up there are trying to stay there. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of rage quitting. It's going to be a lot of DC and all that stuff. So that was bad. But then Steve told me that people didn't even know how to block. We literally saw a tweet that people did not know how to block. So it goes back to your point that people did not do the tutorial. I'm like, okay. An NRS game, which is NetherRealm game, which is Mortal Kombat and Injustice, there's a button to block. But in almost every other fighter, it's just back to block. You don't have to press a button. So the fact that people didn't even know and was complaining about how to block, how do I block? I'm like, please, like, I know that there has to be some tutorial, something that teaches you how to do simple function. This is a simple function to block. If you don't know how to block, I'm sorry, that's on you. So again, going back to T-Base's point, I don't understand why the casuals got on this game and didn't even go through the tutorial, or just crayon eatered out of it. They were just like, I just don't understand. What do I do? What do I do? Since this game is made by the people who made Killer Instinct is known for having like super long combos. So that makes perfect sense why you were doing 30 hit, 40 hit, 50 hit combos and make you seem like a badass. I do hope that the FGC does catch on to this, because Killer Instinct did have its time in the FGC. It was actually pretty hype when they were going through Evos and all the fighting game tournaments. But just unfortunately, just the support ended up dying, and that game ended up dying. But they did have, I think if it wasn't last year, it was a year before at Evo, they had a special like Killer Instinct tourney. So they kind of brought it back just to do that. And I think like Maximilian was a part of it. So that was cool. So since it's made by the same people, I do hope that it does catch on. And again, going back to the popularity of Invincible, I think that more people will, want to have an interest in this game, and maybe some people will go from casual to being an actual professional. So there is a chance. I think the IPs are very important for like people's first of all their interest, but second of all just the longevity of the game. So Marvel is going to be pretty much a no-brainer, but there are other things like Dragon Ball had its time. So there are other genres of fighting game that if you just make it into a fighting game, then it'll end up surviving. So we'll see with this one, but like I said, we have like 3 different fighting games that are coming out this year alone. So not everyone can survive, but it just depends on like the overall impressions from, that's why we have betas. So we're going to figure out what the overall impression is on this one, and then we'll see what ends up surviving, or what ends up being just not even taken seriously on that front, and it'll just stay in the casual realm. And then, unfortunately, it might, fall off the wayside, but we'll see. I am rooting for this one though. We'll see what happens with this.
I think what it's got going for it is it's only $50. I honestly, if it was 70, I don't know if I would have got it. But at the lower price point, I'm like, all right, Saros is coming out as well as Pragmata, and it's a fighting game. It's not something I need to sit on all day, especially because the inputs are pretty easy. I was like, I'll pick it up and I'll grind it a little bit. I've been itching for like a multiplayer game. I'm not gonna lie. So this was scratching the itch for me. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, the top 20 thing. I'm hoping that when the full game comes out, the reason people were rage quitting so much is everybody wanted to be in the top 20. So everybody was trying to protect their what's the name? The record.
Their rank, yeah.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. But when the full game comes out, people kind of chill out. Because if you don't, y'all never gonna get better at the game. Just to explain to y'all how bad this community was and like how many casuals explain. I swear about 50 to 60% of the matches I won just off abusing anti-airs, if y'all know what that is. Motherfuckers was just mad jumpy, and I would just sit there and hit them with an anti-air. And the worst part is the inputs are so easy. There's a character in the game named Thula from the show, the one with the hair that that was one of my favorite characters. So she has an anti-air where she whips her hair in a circle. So when you jump at me, I whip it and that initiates a combo. When I tell you the inputs are I've never seen a game that had so many fucking launchers in it in my goddamn life. Anti-air to a launch, I would jump up, I get a free 10-hit combo off of you. So like I would just abuse the shit out of that, bro. This is one of the easiest games. If you were frustrated, I understand if you ran into a tryhard. When the full game comes out, if you're interested in it, please hop in the tutorial. I promise you, this is coming from somebody who everybody swears sucks. The controls are not that hard. You just got to be a little bit more patient, and you will. When you do dunk on somebody in this game, it is very satisfying. I'm gonna tell you that much, and that's why I said I think I'm gonna stick with it. But will it survive the other two games coming out? Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
I think that this is a game that you could see people in the fighting community wanting to get on and enjoy it and stick with it over other games they have access to right now.
That's a 50-50. Because some of the fighting game friends that we have, like Trey said, he ain't playing that shit. He said it's too scrubby. I agree. It is. There's a lot of scrubby mechanics in it for people to be complaining. Matter of fact, the Street Fighter champ, Punk, he tweeted out yesterday, this is the worst fighting game he's ever played. And look it up. I swear to God, I'm going to pull this shit up on the stream. He tweeted out that it's the worst fighting game. What's his Twitter? Punk CM Street Fighter. And the reason being, I was streaming it, right? I didn't even know this. I was streaming it yesterday, and the match that tilted me, where the dude, he was playing Rexplode. He bricked his ultimate. He's coming down, and I'm trying to punish him, but he was safe off the ultimate. Any other fighting game, you would have got fucked up. And I said, that's bullshit that I have to respect that he bricked his ultimate and then I don't get to punish it. And then somebody in the chat was like, yeah, that's why CM Punk tweeted out that this is the worst fighting game that he's ever played, because he's like, it's full of scrubby mechanics like that. So like in my mind, it's mind blowing that people are complaining that this game's too hard when there's so much stuff in here that'll bail you out for being a bad player. You have to have strong fundamentals to thrive in this game.
Damn, he said it's not even close. Like,
what's his Twitter again? What's his Twitter?
It's Punk the God, DA God.
Punk the God.
Yeah, Invincible Versus by far the worst fighting game to ever come out. He's spelled too, TOO. Ever come out. It is not close either.
Yeah, that's what your Street Fighter chance
crazy.
Oh yeah, I found it. So yeah, I don't know, but on the flip side, Max loves it. Max has loved it, but what sucks about Max liking it is I've seen people calling him a shill because he knows some people on the dev team. So people saying you can't trust his opinion.
Bro, they are never going to give Maximilian the time of day ever.
When someone's been in the industry as long as he has, and like we know a lot of people who make games, and people go to different companies, and like I've known people on most of the shooters that people have played, on most of like the new multiplayer games that come out. It's just the way it goes. So if you're around someone who has the respect of the industry enough to where they get to know people, they're going to know a lot of people that are on a lot of games.
Right.
That's why it's important to watch people's content and look at the consistency of their opinions. Like an example being that like I got to play Crimson Desert like 2-3 weeks before it came out. I ain't really like that game, and I got it for free like a month before it even came out. Like, so it depends on who you listening to. Like, and I'm still honest about the stuff. So like,
they was getting you a shield for Hygor. You got to go to that. Bro, Maximilian, I just got done saying that he was tied into Killer Instinct. It's made by the same people. Of course, he's going to know people who made this game.
That's what
it's a no-brainer, man. Like, use your brain.
On the flip side, Justin Wong liked it too. I think he's ranked number 1 on the leaderboards for the beta. So I mean, it could go either way. Some FGZ people are fucking with it. Some people are not. We're gonna need more time, I think, to really get a full idea of what's going on with this one. But hey, all I can say is I like it. I think it's cool. I'm gonna be on it grinding. It creates some funny content. JG, it's your turn. Let's talk about this Dead as Disco game, which is a new action beat 'em up involving music. You played the demo. There was also a press conference that they did where they revealed like the story mode and stuff like that. You got something to say about this, man? This is the reason you didn't play Invincible.
Yeah. So I got into this. Shout out to Ethos for reminding me, because I was like, oh, it's a demo for Dead as Disco. I said, let me try it out. So first of all, again, I just want to shout out to the team here. The art style is amazing. I absolutely love it. So I would give them high praise on that. Second, I feel like it's kind of it's interesting. I wouldn't say difficult, but it's interesting to make like a rhythm style game, first of all. But a rhythm style game beat 'em up is another thing. So so trying to tie both of those together and making it to something that's seamless, especially going with like the music, is very interesting to me. So you know, they had like a little tutorial in the beginning, you know, teach you the basics or whatever. And they play some UK rap. I found it interesting because I'm like, shout out to the yardies out there. Shout out to the yard boys. But, yeah, so that was interesting. But I was like, okay, we started off with some rap, nice. But yeah, like it's very easy to get into. So like it's not anything super difficult. I would compare this to a marriage between like Hi-Fi Rush and Sifu. It reminded me a lot like those two games. So Hi-Fi Rush with the rhythm base, and Sifu with the fighting style and the mechanics there. So if you like Sifu, I think automatically you should try this out. If you like Hi-Fi Rush, again, it's not the same type of game as far as how you play it, but I think that it would be interesting for you too. The demo was very short. I wanted a little bit more. It was like I pretty much got through one level in like maybe 10-15 minutes, and it wasn't through the whole level. I literally like got to the boss, and then it cut off, and then it showed me previews of like what the boss would do, and then it showed me other things for the game. So I was like, damn, I couldn't face the boss. So I was expecting to at least get to that part, and then it'll be over, because that's usually what demos would do. But everything was super seamless. Like I said, it's not really too complicated. I'm sure there'll probably be some more mechanics in there, but the fact that it does have a story that has me. But I think the best part about this game, outside of the fact that it's rhythm based and you know the terms are endless with the number of tracks that they have in there, but I almost forgot about this. You can upload your own custom tracks to the game. So I want to preface this. It's only for PC right now. I don't know if they have plans on bringing on console, but even if they did, this feature would probably be mostly for PC. So I was like, oh, you can do this on the demo, because I wasn't expecting that. So I tried it out, and I added a song on there, and the chat was like, okay, like let's go. But you can literally vibe out to whatever the hell you want. Upload whatever you want to it, and it just shows up in the track list. You can choose it, and you can play it. You can beat everybody up to your favorite song. So
does the fighting sync to the beat of what you're playing?
Yes, but here's the thing. It's not 1-to-1 yet. I think it depends on what song that you choose. So they're going to be working on that. So that's the part where it's a little bit off, because I did upload a song and I felt like it wasn't 1-to-1 with it. So they do have to work on that. But I think once they get that part down pat, which is going to be tough because it's a million songs. I mean, like you can literally choose a million song every single genre. But I will say, like, as far as the track that they had a rap track, and then they had a rock track that you were playing in the demo. So they were, you know, going toward different genres there. So I'm sure that the track that they have are going to be 1-to-1 as far as like the rhythm base. But I think your custom songs are going to take a little bit of work. So I will preface that, you know, just as a little bit of warning. But still, the fact that you can do it, and you can do it in the demo, it's super dope. So I was literally just beating people's asses using it was called the infinite mode. So it literally just you keep playing until you don't want to anymore. So I tried it on that, and I was like, yo, this is a super dope feature that I haven't seen in a long time. I think probably should like Rock Band or something, where like you can upload some custom tracks. So again, the fact that you can do that is super dope, and I think that's going to take the game over the top for me. So I wasn't expecting this. I remember when I saw it, I was like, it's not really on my radar to play, but I think I might play this day one, mainly because of the fact that it comes out in early May. And 007 First Light comes out at the end of May. So I may put this in a rotation and try this out while I'm playing through Pragmata. So I think it's super dope. I highly recommend it, especially again, if you like Sifu or Hi-Fi Rush or any type of rhythm based or just be a beat 'em up period. I think that you will enjoy this game. And the fact that it has a story again is going to, you know, really have some, you know, more interest in me than just doing like just an infinite like horde like mode where you're just beating up random people and like there's nothing really to gain from it. So I think this is dope. I think that everybody should at least have this on your radar, if nothing else. But it comes out on May 8th. So I would definitely say I recommend it for sure.
Also, I wanted to point out, I learned from reading the description box that this game will also feature a streamer mode. So if you don't want to upload your music or you don't like the music that's in the game and you want to stream it, I like when devs do that. They did it with the was it the Guardians of the Galaxy game, so you don't get in trouble while you're streaming it. So it'd be easy to make content.
Yeah, because all this stuff would get flagged. There's so many royalty tracks in there. So yeah, so we do got to watch out about that. But yeah, super dope though. I love it.
Shout out to Dead at Didishko. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the news section of the podcast where everybody can contribute. Ethos, you've been pretty quiet, so let's get your take on this, man. The second coming of Jesus, GTA 6. The makers Rockstar.
I thought you were going to talk about I Am Jesus Christ, the video game.
The actual game.
I was ready. I was like, oh, shit.
I was ready for it. Oh God, where's he going?
Terrible. Walking simulator, man. The creators of GTA 6 were hacked this past week. Not only were they hacked by a hacker group on the deep web, but they are demanding a ransom, or they are going to leak the source code for GTA 6. And just to prove that they're not playing, I'm not going to show it on this podcast, but if you want to, you're an adult or you might be a kid listening. I don't know. You know how to use Google. I saw the screenshots. I saw some of the gameplay that's leaked. This hack is real. And can I just go as far as to say, it doesn't look bad. GTA 6. I don't know if y'all seen the screenshots, the use of color in the gameplay. I was like, okay, this might look a little bit better. Okay, the graphics is looking kind of good in this. But they're going back to this though. GTA 6 got hacked, Rockstar in specific. And they're demanding a ransom. And I think they want their money. I don't know how much money it's for, but they have until the 14th to pay. If they do not pay up, which is funny because I think this is the day before tax day, they are going to leak everything. How does this make you feel, Ethos?
I don't know how to feel. Because on one hand, I'm like, no one likes seeing their surprises leaked. But on the other hand, Rockstar's been doing a lot of scummy shit lately with like with their like employees and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't know. This might be karma. I'm not gonna lie. I saw something on my timeline of like a gun chase, and I did see somebody, and I was like, oh man, maybe at last people are waking up. Somebody said, "Oh my God, it's the same game all over again."
I saw that.
And I was like, I was watching the game.
Was it chase the train part?
Yes, it was a chase. The cars are the police are chasing, I guess, one of the characters, and you're shooting at them. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, because this is literally a mission in Red Dead. So I was like, finally, they have opened their eyes to Allah. And they've come to recognize that, yeah, GTA's been literally just repeating the same formula over and over again for the decade. And I get it. I get the deterrence that always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I thought if we're talking about game of the year, if we're talking about innovations, and we're talking about pushing the needle forward, I feel like that's always what game of the year should feel like. It should feel like it pushes the needle forward somehow. And not just simply because it's a big popular game. It should push the needle in some way or some form. And for what I've seen, I haven't seen that. I mean, graphically, yeah, it's probably going to look good. I wouldn't be shocked if it's one of the most beautiful games I've probably played. Like probably same up there with like Cyberpunk and all the rest of the shooter, open world games, or, visually you look at it, you're like, wow. But really it's going to come down to is what's that gameplay going to look like? I know you were talking about the whole thing about Metacritic. I do think, yeah, when we talk about like politics or we talk about reviewing, I do wonder if this game ends up being like plays very safe when it comes to like gameplay and features, like doesn't really do much. Kind of keeps to doing like very similar to GTA 5, but like a lot of upgraded graphics. I do wonder if there is going to be enough critics or reviewers who are going to deter away from like, hey, I might actually give this an 80 or 8 or something. I remember when GTA 5 came out, there was a reviewer that gave GTA 5 a 7, and I remember they got death threats for it. I can't remember who it was, but I remember it was like the internet was like hounding this person about how dare they give GTA 5 a 7 score. I can't remember what the outlet was. It probably was Kotaku. It probably was Kotaku or Eurogamer. It's probably one of those two. If it's any of the, it's probably one of those two. Usually are usually the most notable ones. So yeah, I really don't know how to think about this. I just hope obviously there's going to be more. We'll see more. So I'm kind of have this thing where it's like, I'm hoping for the best, but I'm kind of already kind of leveled my expectations. I'm not really ecstatic for GTA 6. I'm just kind of like, maybe I'll get more excited when I see, officially overview trailer or something like that, and they show like really what they're doing, how they're pushing it. But it's not really something where I'm just like, yeah, this I've been waiting for over a decade, and I really want to play this game now. I honestly, I saw the rumor that the PC version might come out in February next year, and if that's true, I'd actually wait. Like I genuinely, I would be perfectly fine with waiting a couple months to play it on PC if that's true.
Yeah,
I would need confirmation on that one because I might be inclined to wait too if that's true.
Yeah, if it comes out in November, you might as well just wait. That's a couple months to get to February.
Yeah. I ain't missing much. Sure, trust me, I can wait if that's the case.
Freaking.
If it comes out and gets 96s and it's the greatest game of all time, then that'll be a different.
Then we gotta talk about it.
I feel like I have to play it, but if it's like kind of what I expect from what I see from like reviewers and people I trust, I'll probably be like, I can wait 6 months. I'm not really in a rush to play this.
The thing that confuses me about this hack is nowhere in it does the hacker group state why they did it other than
money.
They just want money. Like, was there anything? Because I'm like, is a part of this because Rockstar hasn't revealed anything and they just want to give the people something, or is it literally just they just want money and they're just fucking with it's just straight evil type shit?
Come on, do you really think they're doing it for the people? They don't give a fuck about the people. They want some money, man.
Shiny hunters.
I will. Pokemon, bro. I gotta find. Right. You gotta put that link in the group chat. I will say that shit warms my heart to hear that. To see people on Twitter saying, "Wait, this looks like GTA 5 with better graphics." Because look, a part of me, the good side of me, wants this game to come out and be great because I know a lot of y'all are putting your hopes and dreams into this, and I want people to have fun, right? But the other part of me is the Joker, and I do like the anarchy. I do like the fuckery, bro. And if this shit comes out and people turn on Rockstar, that would be one of the funniest months, probably 6 months on Twitter, just fucking memes, bro. Like, we waited 13 years for this shit, bro. Have y'all seen that picture of iPod King Carter and his son? When he posted, it was like when GTA 6 first got announced, and he posted what his son looked like during GTA 5. And then his son was like a toddler, and like he's a teenager now, basically. And he's like, this is the difference. How long we've been waiting. How you feel about this though, Watts?
I only saw a little bit of it, and yeah, I was like, this pretty much looks what I would expect from GTA. I don't know if it's going to be super innovative or if it's going to innovate in the terms of like the fidelity is really, really high, or the realism of all of the characters walking around and everything is really, really high. And that's why it's a special game. And I do think that Rockstar tends to do that more than something like super innovative. So yeah, I was like, yeah, that looks like GTA. It looks like it's going to be a GTA game, and it's probably going to be really, really beautiful. But it's not something that I'm personally super excited about. I liked playing the old ones back in the day, but I haven't been super into GTA for a long time. But it's definitely one that I would check out just to be able to talk about it, right? And I don't want to be talking about GTA without having played it. I don't want to talk about anything without having played it. So yeah, I assume they just want money. I don't think they're doing it for the people. I could see them being just like pissed off at Rockstar and doing it because of that. But I think knowing that Rockstar is such a huge company that has so much money, and then they have this thing that they haven't shown anyone anything about. I mean, that's like a prime suspect for hacking to get some money out of them. So I think it was a smart company to go after if you're going to go after anybody and for this type of thing.
Any thoughts, Jay?
Yeah, can't exactly say I feel sorry for them because as a famous CJ said, oh shit, here we go again. Because this ain't the first time that it happened. And like I feel like they're gonna keep doing it until the game comes out. So I don't know what's going on at Rockstar. I don't know, like if you just got like y'all remember the meme of the security guard who's like letting people in and he like barely even like I feel like that's what Rockstar servers are like. Like, what is y'all security looking like? Because this keeps happening to y'all. So I truly don't understand. Like I say, it's really going to be more on the fact that, like, yeah, there are people who just want to see something, but I don't think they're doing it for the people. This hacker group, I think they're doing it just simply because they want some money. And probably Rockstar at this point is probably an easy lick just to hack them and demand something. So, like I said, I generally don't wish this on anybody, and obviously I don't wish this on Rockstar, but I just don't feel sorry for them that this is happening. But Yeah, I'm with TBH here. Like, I think that if this game finally comes out and like people are like, well, what the hell is this? Then it's going to be a very interesting time on Twitter. Like, I feel like if you're a GTA like diehard and like no matter what Rockstar does, like you're just never going to say that they did a bad job. You might want to stay off the internet. Like, if people truly turn off this game, you're going to get upset. Like, I think you're going to be like, it's going to be like Drake versus Kendrick all over again, but like times 100. Because like all the, like, I feel like everybody across the world is like going to be like just having an opinion about this game. It's going to be very interesting because we haven't seen anything like this before. I don't even remember GTA 5 discourse really being like this. And we had Twitter back then. Like it wasn't so far going that we just didn't have the internet or social media. I don't remember discourse being, potentially being like this. But this particular game, since people have been waiting for so long and like we're in a totally different space in the video game industry, it's definitely going to be some anarchy for sure. If this game does not come out and be exactly how you expected it to be, waiting 13 years for it.
I think the closest thing I could think of is Kingdom Hearts 3. And even still, Kingdom Hearts is popular, but it's not on the level of GTA. But just like the waiting, I think it's just the longer you make people wait, the more expectations they set and they let their imagination run wild. And then it becomes where it's like, I almost feel bad for them because it's not Rockstar's fault. It's really the gamer's fault. You guys are just making up shit of what you think it's going to be. And then you're setting yourself up to be disappointed. But makes for good jokes for me. Also, I don't know if y'all saw this article from Games Radar. There's been reports coming out of here from it was a writer from Kotaku who had a little birdie tell them that apparently GTA 6 might not be running on a new engine, but apparently it's running on the same engine. Take this with a grain of salt because this hasn't been confirmed, just a rumor. But they're claiming that a birdie told them it's running on an upgraded version of the GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 Redemption engine, the same exact one. And when I first read this, I was a little bit worried because I'm like, okay, they're kind of taking the Bethesda route, just putting holding their old engines up with sticks and glue and just putting band-aids over it and making it slightly better. I was like, that means we probably won't see a crazy graphical jump. But I mean, from the screenshots that I saw, I don't know if it's because of the use of the color. It might just be the art direction. Visually, it looked fine to me, but I still do have one question about if potentially this is running on the same engine. Does that mean it could cause the same issues Bethesda games have where like, a new Bethesda game comes out and it still has the same bugs from the last one? That's what I would be worried about if it's running on an old, just upgraded engine from like GTA 5. You're a game dev, Ethos. Any insight on this?
God damn it.
You know it was coming.
I mean, yes and no. I think every studio is kind of unique in their approach for their engines. Like Bungie with their Tiger engine is a whole different problem. Like, like Marathon and Destiny 2, I think feel kind of similar in certain respects, but they're definitely different in other respects. And I'm pretty sure like some bugs that you have in Destiny, you might not see in Marathon. Vice versa, you might find some old stuff like in Destiny 1 bug wise that might appear in Destiny 2. I think that actually did happen. But I think it just comes down to each individual person. I think Bethesda has their own set of problems and issues with their own engine. And I think it's like the different types of approaches of the type of game that they try to make. So Bethesda's has like, for example, Bethesda's has a need to have like thousands of items in their game that need to be tracked 24/7. If the player picks it up and throws it somewhere else in the universe, it needs to track that's location constantly. GTA doesn't do that. GTA does, it prioritizes different aspects and different things. So their engine is configured to handle those things a little bit better. So it's kind of like the whole thing with EA with the Frostbite engine of trying to make games that were developed for developing games in an engine that was kind of being built for a specific type of game, Battlefield or shooter games, and then trying to make an RPG out of it. But obviously that engine wasn't built with that in mind, so it's missing certain features. So you kind of have to configure something or make a new tool that goes on top of that engine so that then you can make the engine do what you want it to do. So really it's about the flexibility, how good your engineers are. I don't really think it's really anything to be worried about per se with GTA 6. I think Rockstar, outside of their cybersecurity is terrible. Maybe if they fired them, but I think their engineering team is probably like first class. I would be shocked if they have any big like back end engineering problems with their engine. So yeah.
Okay. What you think, Jay?
Yeah, I think this is pretty much a nothing burger. I don't think that the average gamer or the person who's been waiting for this game for 13 years would care about what engine that they're using. As long as the game looks good and plays good, they could care less. So from a developer standpoint, I mean, this game has been in development for potentially 13 years, or you know, or even longer. You know, who knows how long that they've been truly working on this game. So, would anyone be surprised that they didn't come up with a new engine? I mean, I don't understand. If you've been working on the game for that long, then yeah, chances are you will be working on the same engine, but just enhance certain features of it. Yeah. So I don't see why anyone would potentially be surprised in, you know, the possibility of them using the same engine, but just, you know, mixing in some new aspects of it. I think that that's pretty standard. But yeah, the longer you work on the game, you're not just going to scrap it. Like just God forbid they scrap the whole thing. It was like, hey, we're going to use a new engine now, and they'd have to rebuild the game. I know the ethos would know about that. Like, you've been working on the game for so long. That's damn near a no at this point. You're not going to do that. You're not going to fully abandon it because you damn near have to make the game over. So yeah, no, they wouldn't do that. So I don't think that this is again something that the general person would care about. But even from a developer or video game like insider standpoint, I don't think that this really matters as long as the game looks good and plays good.
What about you, Watts?
Not no one. The vast majority of gamers do not know what an engine is or what it does or what it dictates or anything. So I always find it really interesting when people want to talk about engines, because I know that the vast majority of people are not working in game development engines. So they don't know what any of it means. Like, if people just have it in their head, like, if you're using an engine that you used before in a game a long time ago, then that's bad. But if a company is using their own proprietary engine, they are updating it for the games that they're making in that engine. So it being the same engine is like, that's what I want. I don't want like these companies that have their own engines to be switching to like Unreal or something, because that's why they're able to normally make something as special and as unique and feels the way that it does. And that's why they're able to make that, is because of the engine that they're using. So yeah, I find a lot of things interesting in gaming discourse, because like Steam chart numbers and is this company happy with their investment and engines and stuff? I'm like, you guys are not game engineers. You are not millionaire investors in companies. They have no idea what they're talking about in most of these cases. So I'm happy that they're using their same engine. I'm sure they've been updating it as they've been working on it to make it do the stuff that they want to do in GTA 6. And that is just a clickbait title to get gamers to be like, hey guys, we hate old engines.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's mostly a nothing burger. I just wanted to bring it up because it honestly, it just creates fun conversation. But I think as much as I'm not that excited for GTA 6, Rockstar, I think, does get the benefit of the doubt from me. I think they put out more hits than misses. I'm more inclined to think that their games are going to be more optimized than not. I would be shocked if they fucked up the release of GTA 6 with bad optimization. But, I just wanted to bring the article up and present it because, different ideas, maybe get some different type of insight. This next conversation, though, is going to be fun. JG wanted me to save this one. I actually wasn't going to. I was just going to leave it alone. I was going to be like, whatever. But there was a tweet that came across my timeline on April 8th from a content creator named Legendary Drops, who tweeted out, good Lord, 43% of 40,000 layoffs in the games industry came from California alone. The game industry desperately needs to move out of Cali to more affordable states. It's better for the industry, the country, the companies, and the workers. And then I responded to it, and I was just like, bruh, it's an elementary take. Like, your take goes as far as California bad, har, har, har. And I went as far as to say, and maybe I could have been wrong. We're going to talk about this. I want to hear y'all opinions before I give mine. Because at the end, I put, this is just goofy culture war agenda, because it came across as a little Republican coded. And I could be wrong. It might have not been that. And if that's the case, I apologize. But I do stand on the other stuff where I was talking about, y'all do everything but blame the billionaires and the actual problems going on in the gaming industry. And you break things down to something as simple as, California bad. But I want to hear y'all takes before I get into mine. What do you think, Watts? Do you think California is primarily to blame for the layoffs?
No, I don't. I mean, I think there could be a conversation behind, like, should game companies be more spread out and not just be all in these like really expensive cities where they're going to have to pay people more money in order to survive there. I think that's a conversation. I think where you're seeing the Republican coded thing is like, it's better for the country, what does that even mean? I don't know why it would.
The comments, if you look at the comments, all of it was like, yeah, California trash, Gavin Newsom. I'm like, bro, like he didn't say it. To be fair, he didn't say it, but his fan base did. Yeah, and it's like, come on, when you have those
look what they jumped on.
His commentary is a little coded in that way from what I've seen. Like it's always, I go, interesting. So I'm not surprised at the comments, but yeah, I think there could be a conversation in that. But I mean, it's like saying the company shouldn't exist in major cities because there's just a lot of companies that exist in major cities. That's why they're a major city, because there's a lot of companies that are there. So it being a gaming thing, like people ended up being all in Seattle for tech, or a lot of people in California for gaming. And we can have a conversation about moving it to have lower wages to make games cheaper. But the reason that it's happening is absolutely not because of where it is. It's because you have people who are running gaming businesses who came over from finance or came over from movies, and they don't understand the industry. They just want to see line go up, 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 and up. We've seen so many companies that are making a lot of profit, and they're being told it's disappointing and it's not enough. So I don't think this is a problem with where a game dev company is located. I think it's a problem of expectations, delusional expectations of how well a game is going to do, and really bad management. I think we're going to be seeing the fallout of the COVID situation of, oh my God, we're making so much money. Let's hire, and make all of these things. I think we're going to be seeing the fallout from that for a while. Because that was a big thing that almost every company did. Everyone's at home playing games. Let's invest in it. And it ended up not staying at that level. So, yeah, I don't think California has anything to do with it. I think the comment about it being better for the country, I literally don't even know what that means. And maybe people don't want to end up moving to, like, I don't know, Omaha. Maybe people like living in California and Seattle and Austin, and maybe they like living in those places. So...
As a game dev in Michigan, do you blame Cali for all your problems, Ethos?
Yes, absolutely. All my fatalities. California, let me tell you. But also to piggyback off of what Watt said, which is interesting, is because I have firsthand experience dealing with that, like that blowback of that fallout of overestimating. But the funny part is, and also I forgot her name. Alana Pierce also brought this up in one of her videos. I was like, finally, thank you, you're saying it, because a lot of people don't understand this. Is when we talk about the mistakes of investors, talking about like, they all doubled down on, everybody was indoors because of COVID and all this sort of stuff, and since everybody went outside, now everything's regressed. But the truth is, if you look at the data, the gaming industry has not gone down. Like it's not like the growth has not gone, like everything was going up, and then when COVID ended, it went down. It kept going up.
People are just greedy.
Yes, the truth is that the people that were investing at the time during COVID, because of the burst, they all had expectations that it was going to double 2 times, 3 times. And because they didn't get their 2 times, 3 times, instead they got it's still good. It's still like 1.225 times better than how it used to be. So it's still growth. That's not good enough. It's not double. And because of that, I'm taking my money out. I want explosive. When you think about it, this isn't about California. This isn't about the rural area. This isn't about this or that. This is what you're saying. It's about billionaires, and it's about fucking capitalism. It's about a greedy, aggressive capitalist system that believes that it's never enough, and that it just keeps eating it. It's like the Ouroboros snake. It just keeps eating itself in a continuous circle forever, and it will never stop. They'll never be satisfied. We've seen throughout this year alone. Watts has been on just sad tour the entire past 3 weeks, because 3 of her favorite games that she liked just got shot in the leg simultaneously. And I was like, I empathize, because I know that I've seen that happen in the games that I've loved, where I'm like, this is a great game. Why is it not being supported? Or I really love this game. You make good game, not good enough. You make bad game, you're getting laid off. You make good games, you're getting laid off. You make a game that bangs, it didn't bang good enough. You're getting layoffs. Unless you make $1 billion property, even with a genre and a game type that isn't necessarily going to have that type of reach, it's not good enough. And I think now we're until people understand that, and instead of trying to do this whole stupid, and I agree with you, you could conflate and say, well, he didn't say this, but it's like when you have what you're saying, the people that are reading this and they're interpreting it in that type of way, and that these are potentially, fans of yours or people who are obviously interacting with you because, they're following you and they like what you say. There's a connection. We're not stupid. It is always that deep. I know people are trying to say, it's not that deep, bro. It is that deep. It's always been that deep. So like, I do think that there is a truth that a lot of people try to use California as like a cultural boogeyman. And that anytime California does anything bad, it's like culture points. It's just like, this is why Cali's bad. This is why Cali's bad. And then you ask them and then you say, okay, well, which states are the worst when it comes to let's talk about education and healthcare? Which states are those? Then people get really quiet about that. They don't want to talk about how much GDP and how much value something like California brings to the United States. That's a whole different topic, which you can go into like when it comes to economics with the United States. But I think in general, which I agree with what you're saying, a lot of that is just elementary because it still is not give the full picture of what is wrong with the gaming industry, and not even what is wrong with the gaming industry. What is wrong? What has been going wrong for the past couple decades? Because I think people brought it up too. This has happened in music. This has happened in movies. It's something about the creative fields as how they've had to interact and wield power when it comes to money and economics, along with the culture and just the idea of creativity. These are things that bump heads with each other. The perfect cases you have is when they actually synergize together and everybody's happy. But most of the time you have a bumping of heads. And obviously we're in a society and we live in a world where people don't appreciate the artists. We're in an era now of anti-intellectualism. They don't care about the artists, the scientists. They think that these are elitist roles and people that are smear their heads against people.
I'll do my own research.
Yeah, I'll do my I believe whatever I believe. I'm entitled to my own thoughts, regardless on if it's based in logic or in any sort of grounded reality. I don't care. And now we're being foregone with, however it's making me feel. And this is the same thing that's been wrong with gaming. This is the whole thing that I've been saying for years about you guys have been targeting. You guys have been looking at finding the wrong enemy. You get all mad about this whole thing like DEI and all these things that are just like, literally, they're just like dog whistles and they're all just BS. They're just all different things that are not really the problem. And they're things that are also perpetrated by, oh man, I'm going to get in trouble. They are perpetrated by these people who are in higher powers. You can look at Epstein for a good example of this, where they are perpetrating these types of stupid takes because they want to deter your vision away from what's really causing the problem. The real enemy. I go to a very good anime, Attack on Titan. And in that show, there's a moment where one of the characters has a conversation with another character and he asks him, he says, who do you think the real enemy is? And you don't know the context of it at the time because it's very early in the show, but he's basically lying out and saying that like you basically have blindfolds on and they're only pointing you at certain things that you perceive as an enemy, but you don't really know who's the person that's putting the blindfolders on you in the first place. So I don't know. Let's just food for thought. I do agree. I also think Twitter is a terrible place for discourse. I think a lot of people put in a bunch of crap and minimize it with no tone and no accuracy, and it causes like misinterpretations. And then people like do the whole, well, I like pancakes. Well, that means you don't like waffles type of arguments. A lot of straw manning, a lot of stupidity, and I think a lot of people just try to get internet points off of each other and trying to get their their money that they don't really care about. The greater, more deeper conversations that need to happen.
So we've heard from the Seattle person over here, very pro California West Coast. We've heard from the man in the middle. It's time to hear from probably the most anti-California member of the podcast, living in Florida himself, JG. How do you feel about California gaming?
I don't have any problem with California gaming. Let me just get to something elementary. First of all, I love my team because like you all just you all were spitting watching it though, just absolutely spitting. I love it. Let me just get to some elementary because like we're talking about graphs, right? Like we love facts here. We love looking at the numbers. I mean, let's just keep it a buck here. At 43% of the layoffs came from California alone. And California is the state that has some of the, most video game companies there. If everything's conglomerated in California, then wouldn't that number make sense? I mean, I don't like. I feel like critical thinking,
layoffs.
Yeah, like critical thinking is just lost here. But I want people to not lose out on the fact that yes, okay, the majority of it happened in California, but that's where all the video game companies are. That is not the reason why you should be like, oh, Cali is bad, because it happened across the board. in all of the world. Like this was not just a California thing. Watts already mentioned Seattle and Austin.
Too.
It happened in China. It's happening in South Korea. We literally don't just talk.
Before you finish that thought, can I bring those up to them? Can I show them real quick and then I'll let you run?
Yes.
So it's not just California. In the past week, we've also had major layoffs from the Nexon team that produced Berserker Kazan. They disposed of that team. The game had great reviews. We praised it on this podcast. They dissolved that team completely. Thankfully, Nexon gave them jobs within Nexon at other teams, but they got rid of that team. And then also, there's rumors going around that the Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers team has been dissolved as well due to poor sales. So these two games coming out of China, is that California's fault, Jay?
Or South Korea? South Korea.
South Korea. My bad.
Yes. Yeah. No.
I don't know the team that worked on Kazan. Was it a Western studio like Nexon? Like
no, they're Korean.
Korean, because I know they have
two South Korean ones. Yeah, so it's
Korean and China. Yep.
Oh,
go ahead. No, go ahead, Ito.
I just wanted to add this point. Something that I think is very disingenuous is this idea that they need to get rid of the conglomerate and put it into different things. Now, I remember when I was young, we all remember we were younger. I remember there used to be studios. Bethesda's out in Maryland, right? They're
Maryland, Virginia, they're in the DMV. Yep.
I remember how there were some like EA studios in Orlando. There was also some like middle grade studios that were in like Indiana.
EA Illinois. Has some in Canada too, because we've been up there.
Yeah. Canada, Toronto, which is still, that's pretty massive. Toronto, there was like, I think
there's Vancouver too.
BioWare's in Edmonton, like in the middle of nowhere. like BioWare's in the middle of
Games
nowhere.
Is in North Carolina. Yeah, we all went. They just had some layoffs.
They had layoffs too. Like it is also, which is important to understand. There's a reason why over the couple of decades that when gaming started to get massive, everything started to move towards a center, like a center or a middle area. It was because the talent pool started to all need to grasp into one similar area. So if they needed to move to a different one, and this is what a lot of people, this is what I'm talking about when we're talking about elementary takes. We're not really thinking the full picture. We're just like, oh, everybody should just go. We should have them go have a studio in Indiana. Well, the problem is that let's say you're working in California and let's say you're working at Respawn and then you lose your job. But if everything's split up and all these studios are all over the place, now you got to move your family and everybody else out of Cali all the way to a different state to get to that new studio that you have to work at. When you have a better chance where, like right now with the layoffs, right? Terrible. But I'm saying is that there's still that better chance of if, let's say, for example, I get laid off from Respawn. There might be someone at Blizzard who's like, oh, you can come over to Blizzard. We have a perfect spot for you. Or that's usually what they try to do. They try to say like, oh, we have some openings right now over at blah, blah, blah. You should apply here. Or like CD Projekt has something in LA too. Oh, you could probably apply here. So like it's an easier way from you to move from because again, this is still the core problem is still being there's too many damn layoffs and you guys are too fucking greedy and you just keep trying to make it so you guys look more profitable by cutting the jobs after the big project's done. But this is a way that they can kind of mitigate like how harmful it is when someone gets laid off, how fast it can equate into a new studio and get there compared to, oh, well, I got fired. Oh, shit. Now I got to go halfway across the country to go to this new job, to start this new job at Bethesda or something like that. So it's not a solution to say, oh, well, we need to split them up and put them in different parts of the United States. I think that makes the problem worse. I think the real truth is we need to start looking at remote. There's been a couple studios that have done it, and we've seen a lot of indie studios just straight up be like fully remoted studios that have success stories, but that doesn't work well with a lot of AAA. AAA doesn't like doing that, and some of their patterns are they prefer having that physical interaction that remote doesn't give you sometimes. So until we get into that state where where our brains are now jacked into the internet and we can see each other in a physical meta plane, there's no perfect solution.
They don't like these types of people also don't like remote. Remote is woke for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why it's woke, but it very much is. It's like go to work and pull up your bootstraps and you got to go there and be in the car for 2 hours.
They probably want to constantly look
That's
over
what it is. Yeah, it's power. They want to be able to control you in person, so they can't do that remotely.
Finish your thoughts, Jay.
So no, that goes. I mean, literally, that goes what I was going to say. Like we had a conversation, literally, I think last week about the Last of Us conversation, and COVID. Everybody blames COVID, and Watts already, spoke about how COVID, and everybody's expectations grew, tenfold, and the whole investment thing. Like people need to understand that like investments don't always create dividends, right? Like investments are a gamble. So like I want people to like truly understand it. Every time we hear investments, like you just throwing money into something, it's just automatically going to become successful. That's not the case. Investments, you can fail. And again, it's literally a freaking gamble. So yeah, like expectations were super duper high when COVID happened and everybody was inside, and that's how, the remote bubble really started. But then 5 years later, 6 years later, now that, that bubble burst, and now a lot of those people who were super talented, who were in remote positions, now they either had to quit their job or they had to move. Again, imagine you were in Europe and they want you to come to California. Ethos was talking about, within the country, but imagine moving across the continent just to keep your job. That's not happening. So it's so many layers to this that nobody with their right mind can say, oh, Cali is the reason. We know why you said this. Again, I'm not going to just dunk on you, the OP here, but we know why you said this, because everybody thinks now that if you're in California or based in California, that you are a super leftist, that you're woke, that you're a blue hair, strap whatever label that you want to it, and they think that your mind is warped. Therefore, you're going to make a bad video game that has a whole bunch of wokeness in it, and nobody's going to want to play it, and y'all are going to get upset. Let's just keep it a buck. That is the real reason why, because nobody talks about Seattle. Nobody talks about Austin for real. We talk about the two other big states when it comes to video games. Nobody dunks on them. Nobody dunks on those states as a whole like they dunk on California as a whole. Nobody talks about North Carolina. There are big video game industries that are in these other states and other cities as well. Nobody talks about them. Everybody just talks about freaking California and how it's successful. Now, the one thing I will say in defense is, yes, California is very expensive. So yeah, I think that naturally someone would want to be in an area that doesn't have a high cost of living. I think that's obvious, especially now. So I do get that point, but again, going back to Ethos' point, if everything that's in your genre, in your occupation field is in one general area, then yeah, chances are landing back on your feet or finding something better will be higher than you having to go across the country or again across the continent in order to find something. So again, I just find this graph here that this person decided to show very elementary, because it's not a California thing, it's a video game industry thing, and that goes back to capitalism and greed. Like Watt said, because your game, and Ethos said, because your game did not double or triple the profits that we expected, then therefore it's a bad game, and that's not fair. And that's how things have been run for a very long time, and now we're seeing it happen not one time a year, not two times a year. We've seen it happen here, month after month, sometimes week after week. We're just seeing it happen so much that yeah, people's eyes are a little bit more open about these type of situations. But again, it's not a California thing. California is not bad just because that's where the majority of video game industry from. It's an entire video game industry thing, and we need to really take a look. I've been saying this for long. We need to take a look at the CEOs, everybody who's at the board, at the higher planes of these video game industries, and find out what is going on with them, because they are a part of the reason why we're seeing so many of these games die or not get the proper support that they should get, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You look at Kazan, right?
I'll go for it. You said you want to talk about the Kazan.
Yeah. What you've been saying, JG, about greed and expectations and all of that, Kazan literally just happened, and that is a perfect example. So First Berserker Kazan came out. It's a Souls-like game. It's part of the Dungeon and Fighters universe, but
amazing parry system, by the way.
Yeah, Kazan probably has my favorite greatsword of any game. The greatsword just feels really good. The combat is really good. And this was, Dungeon Fighters is more well known in the East, but in the West, there's not many people that knew about it. And the CEO of Neopol said that they really wanted Kazan to act as a way to introduce the Western world to Dungeon and Fighters, to this IP, so they can put more things out from this IP. And he said, right before this happened, that Kazan did that. That Kazan did get a lot of people interested in this world who didn't know about it before, that it had really good reviews, and that it was received very, very well. And what did the First Berserker Kazan team get for that? They got dissolved into the company. So Kazan, the studio that made Kazan, all those people who worked together to make this incredible game are no longer in one entity. They're separated throughout other things. And it's because they didn't reach expectations. And it's that thing again, expectations. It did the thing that you wanted it to do with introducing more people into the franchise, but because it didn't sell well enough, we're not going to stick around with this group and let them do something else. And I have seen so many times that a game will come out, first iteration of it, brand new IP, brand new franchise to a lot of people, and it won't do, it'll get like a cult following, but it won't sell like millions and millions of copies. And then the expansion comes out, or the second iteration of that game comes out, and it pops off because it already has like that niche hardcore fan base, that people that love it, and they're singing its praises, and then it grows from there. And we have so many situations now where we are never going to see if First Berserker Kazan could be a multi-million copy selling franchise, because they said, oh, well, you didn't do it on the first time around, so you don't get another chance to try and do this. And it happens so often, and I really dislike it, because we've seen some gems really be created because studios have been able to stick with the franchise that they were making. And the Kazan was just a good game that people really liked. And here we are.
I think what's especially disappointing about Kazaa's team being shut down is it's not like Nexon is hurting for cash. These motherfuckers are printing money with their mobile games and Maple Story and all that shit. They're not hurting for cash. They just wanted to get rid of the team.
Right. So you're telling me you couldn't have just like been like, okay, this didn't sell as much as we expected, but it got universal praise. It reviewed really well. Let's let this team make an expansion, or, make a second thing and see how that goes and take it from there. They absolutely could have.
Universal praise doesn't matter anymore, Watts.
It doesn't matter.
Remember what they said? You guys are reviewing our games really good, but nobody's buying them. So
it's great. That's why I said we're fighting over Metacritic and Steam BB charts, but they only care about the bottom line, which is the dollar.
Which is funny. That goes back to capitalism. Because I'd argue that one of the reasons why a lot of people are not buying new games, IPs like Kazaa, is because of these live service games. They've become victims of their own success. You've created a product that's so addicting, these people will not get off of Roblox, Minecraft, 2K, Madden, Call of Duty, Fortnite, and go buy Kazaa. You've created the problem, and then now the people are suffering. This is why I said live service games are the devil. But bringing it back to the California shit. All right, here's my take. Never in my life, as somebody who's from DC, who's now lived in California for like 3 years, that I think I would defend California, because I'd be the first one to get a California joke off. But when I seen this tweet, I was like, come on, bro. Because one thing I will say since I moved here is, and I get on my girl about this shit all the time, Cali people do have like a little bit of like an arrogance to them, which I understand it, because I mean, LA is the second largest city. Then you also got the Bay, the big tech hub. It's a lot of money out here, right? You got the beaches, the beautiful scenery. I understand why you would have pride for being from California. But then on the flip side, I will say, now that I live here, there is also a weird hate obsession from the internet with California. People who've never been here, and a lot of times I'll get like TikToks, people that have never been here, they come here and they fucking love it, bro. Me, I make the most of anything. It has its pros and cons. I love the food out here. The weather's great. But then, the taxes are high too. So it depends, good and bad. But when I seen this tweet, I was like, all right, bro, this seems like a bit of a dog whistle, because you could take this in a lot of different ways. You guys kind of already touched on the whole billionaire problem. I want to further elaborate on the fact that the overhead is a big issue in gaming too. And when you just sit there and blame it on a state, California, it takes away from the enemies, which is the billionaires, who for some reason keep writing checks to make these games for hundreds of millions of dollars, these crazy overheads. Why are we not questioning Sony for making Concord? Instead, we're just saying California bad. Nobody asked for Concord. You guys love to talk about the Concordian timeline. That's the stuff that we need to be focusing on. Who is greenlighting all of these games that are so expensive? And they kind of touched on it in his tweet about the overhead, because people were giving me pushback. They were like, that's exactly why these studios need to move out of California, because of the large overhead. Okay, that's a little bit like the cost of the building and like the electricity and the employees. But I argue the major part of the overhead is how much it costs to produce these games. But I'll entertain that. Let's say we move some of these studios out to like other countries, or not other countries, but other states and stuff like that. Instead of moving already known studios to other states, I think a better example would be, why not we just invest in education, so that, because I'd argue that one of the reasons why we don't get a lot of studios out of, and I'm not trying to be mean, what you said earlier, Omaha, Nebraska, or somewhere in West Virginia, we're not getting more indie games out of there because of lack of education. And why is there a lack of education? Is because the billionaires are controlling everything in the fucking government. So I'd argue, if you want to see more game studios in other states and the wealth being spread, you need to invest more in the people. Because one of the things that California does have is some of the most educated people in the world. And that's why you're seeing video games made in California. This is why I said this is the most elementary take in the world, bro. So I'm like, yo, if you want to see more games, because I'm not trying to be funny. I would love to see more game studios out of West Virginia or Georgia, wherever you are. But like these indie studios that are making games right now, a lot of them are just downloading. They're downloading Unreal Engine 5, watching YouTube videos, and they're self-taught. That's going to take time. Maybe over time you'll start to see more studios grow over states. But like, if your real solution is you want to see more studios in other states, I'd argue we need to start lobbying for our politicians to start investing more in people, and we'll get more than just California. But I was just like,
invest so that more people can go to college and take the courses. Invest in getting more people interested in coding games, right? Like, how many people are in certain parts of our country who are like, well, I don't know anyone who does that. I don't have anyone around me who does that. I don't have a mentor who does that. So you're absolutely right.
And that was the whole reason why, like, you remember, well, again, going back to like the Assassin's Creed Shadows argument, how it was saying like, okay, well, like you talk about all these different stories that people make in video games and why there aren't like more stories about the Hispanic community, about the Black community. Well, it's like, well, as a Caucasian person, why would I make a game that's made by, it's talking about somebody that's not me, that doesn't look like me, right? Like you generally make games with people that relate to you. And there aren't, go back to DEI, like there's not a lot of DEI in these companies. And when they are, it's like, oh yeah, well, you're the token Black person. Oh, well, you're the token Hispanic person there. Like it's gotten better, but that's really how it was in the back in the day. That's why we saw so many different games that were starring, the typical white Caucasian male. And people were like, oh, I want to see different stuff. But now we have this whole DEI. Now I don't want to see all the different stuff because you all are making a stereotype or whatever other, dumb reason that you want to think of. So that kind of also lends to, TBH's point, like depending on where you are in the country or even in the world, your environment and, is really going to set up what you truly want to do. So at the end of the day, if you ask the general gamer, but do you care where a game comes from, or do you just want a good game? I think the majority will say, I just want a good game. So do you really care if it comes out of California? Chances are it's going to be no. If it comes out of South Korea, like you don't care where it comes from. Is the game good or not? Y'all are putting too many other tags and stuff that really should not matter, or at least from a general standpoint, onto conversations like this that really shouldn't be conversations. But that's why you listen to the GI podcast, because when conversations like this come around, we can break it down in an intellectual manner that should make sense, because again, going back to those point, Twitter is the worst place for this type of discourse. Like you're not going to get anything meaningful from it. So that's why we can break stuff down like this. But yeah, at the end of the day, nobody cares. California is not the reason why these games are bad. It's not the reason. Trust me.
Let me ask you one more question.
Problem.
Let me ask you this question before we wrap this one up. Can anybody explain to me what California has to do with Andrew Wilson, the CEO of EA, making $30 million last year? Can anybody explain that to me?
I sure cannot.
Oh, okay. We be doing everything but pointing, but looking at the what does California have to do with the Bungie CEO finessing Sony and then buying 25 sports cars that he didn't need?
And laying off a bunch of people so he could get those sports cars.
Yeah, okay. Oh boy. But yeah, that's our take on California bad. Har har. Disney. Let's talk about some more woke shit.
The Disney, we're not supposed to go, right?
Disney Extraction Shooter is reportedly in development at Epic Games, as well as 2 other games. Those 2 other games currently do not have any type of details on them. But what we do know is that this Disney Extraction Shooter is in the works. The only problem with it is some developers behind the scenes are saying that they're a little worried. Like half the studio says they think it'll be fine, but the other half thinks that it's not original in terms of gameplay mechanics, so they're worried that it won't do well. But just the idea of like a Disney Extraction Shooter with the success of Arc Raiders and Marathon and Escape from Tarkov, is this something you want to see, Watts?
It's really funny to think there's like shields broke, haha. on me.
Sora, I need a shield.
Can you imagine taking out Goofy and he's like, I just, it's really funny.
I'll do it again.
Got the AK-47. Like,
imagine them smack talking in the game. Yeah. It'll be really funny. I would laugh a lot. I assume that they're probably just trying to like make an extraction shooter and just slap the Disney IP on it rather than do anything unique with the gameplay.
You said Kingdom Hearts? Sorry, I should have said that. No, I'm gonna get killed for that.
Well, you will. You better be careful.
I'm gonna be very careful here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a genre that is being done a lot now, so I can imagine it was just like, guys, the next new best thing is extraction shooters. Let's do that, but make it Disney. I don't know. It could be okay. It could be entertaining with the characters that are in there. I would, if anything, I'd want them to really play up how ridiculous it is that you are like running around as Mickey, shooting people in the back and taking their shoes. You know,
just like Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. Our games, he's running around with a sword. And he's
I got a hot take for y'all. Who cares? Because in my opinion, I think the extraction shooter is a bubble that's about to burst.
It will, for sure.
And the reason I'm saying that is I don't know if y'all been keeping up with the Discord around Arc Raiders. They're starting to switch up on that game.
They have been.
The community has died by 50%. It's dropped from 200,000 to 100,000 players. And my timeline on my For You page is just a lot of people bitching and complaining. There's a lack of content. They're sick of it. It's repetitive. It's been ruined by hackers. Like all the big streamers quit playing the game.
Let me tell you about this game, man.
Which is another reason why. Hold on. Which is another reason why we got to stop listening to these guys when these new live service games come out and they cry it doesn't win Game of the Year. There's a reason why. You're always one patch away from being asked. Go ahead, Ethos.
No, you know, I was going to do some marathon shilling, but marathon's got its own hacking problem right now. So.
It's honestly like being into any multiplayer game now. If you're not dealing with the low end of like Zim and all that kind of stuff, you're dealing with straight up wall hacks on PC. And then console players turn off their crossplay, and now console players are finding it hard to get into matches quickly, and it's a whole mess. I think
people who play marathon is on PC.
Yeah, the majority are on PC.
60 or 70 or
something like that. Yeah, it's the best guess. Yeah.
More than 50%.
It's just this genre, man. It's having Disney is, I assume, trying to be for children, right? Because a lot of children like Disney. I know that there's Disney adults, but the reason that it's got a name is because Disney children are the regular.
I'd argue Disney adults are the biggest children, but go ahead.
Yeah,
ironically,
it's true though. But this is like a hardcore genre. People keep saying like this is a hardcore. I don't really understand why marathon's so hardcore, but people say that it's such a hardcore genre, and people don't like. I guess especially current generations are not going to like playing a game for X amount of time and then losing all of their stuff to someone shooting them in the back. So it's not a genre that is as open to like mass critical success and adoption by the general public. I think BRs were much more like that, especially after Apex introduced a way to like res your teammates. But yeah, I don't think you're going to see mass adoption of extraction shooters by the public.
Which, by the way, I don't know if y'all saw it, Apex. They broke 300,000 players the other night. Like it's having a renaissance. Y'all claim y'all hate these live service games. I don't know. Somebody playing them.
I'm still confused what's going on there.
I don't know if it was an update or something, but they back on that thing, bro.
They are back on it, yeah.
As far as Disney's extraction shooter, I feel like the only way this would work is if they did Star Wars, like if they did some type of stormtrooper, spooky Imperial extraction shooter. I just
did that on Twitter. I saw somebody saying, like, what if it was like it's like y'all talk trash about extraction shooter, but if it was rebels and Imperials being stuck on a stranded planet and you're trying to get out off the planet, by the way, y'all would be eating it up. And I was like, yeah,
that's the only logical thing I could see. I can't see like Donald and Goofy and Minnie Mouse. It just doesn't make any sense. But even still, if they did the Star Wars thing, the only thing I could see that backfiring is then you're going to piss off the Battlefront community. They're going to be like, this is Battlefront 3.
But then welcome to the Titanfall community, bro. You sit down, Battlefront and Titanfall, we're basically twins at this point. We're cousins.
He thought like first time here. Like,
you and me both, bro. Because those are both games that there's a very tight-knit cult community that loves them to death. I'd like Battlefront 2 as well. And EA said like we're probably never going to make a Battlefront 3. They just straight up said it. We're probably never going to make
That's
that
unfortunate.
FFA
Really. They scammed the money.
That game was really fun.
Yeah, it was. Well,
Yeah,
remember when it
people
came
liked
out? It was
When it came out,
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't
terrible. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Then it was really fun.
But shout outs to Dice because that team it was the devs. The devs they took all that feedback and they were just like, we'll make it better. We'll make it better. We'll make it better. I'd say by the end of his life, like it lived up to its to the OG title. Like it lived up to its title. It was really good. I was gonna say damn, see now I forgot my thought about what I was gonna say. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week. Remember how we brought up the whole rumor about Disney was thinking about acquiring Epic?
Yeah.
I told you there was also that agreement that Epic had, like they were gonna do some sort of metaverse. I think these are all like little tests. Like it's all little like before we acquire you, let's see how this goes. Let's try a collaboration, let's try a relationship here and try to make some stuff. And like as a board, like an onboarding to see how well it's perceived. And if we hit the $1 billion thing and everyone's playing it, everyone loves it, then that will be probably the moment where they say, grab them, get them. Kind of like how, who was it? I was going to say Bungie, I guess, but that was a little bit of a different situation. But you know what I mean? Like kind of like if you can produce this $1 billion thing, you can produce a banger, then yes, we will basically entertain acquiring the company if that's in Tim Sweeney's purview of whatever that young man's thinking about.
Would you say this was an investment, Ethos? Is this an investment?
I would say it is something promised to Epic Games 30,000 years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
It's pretty funny though, because again, like you hear Disney and automatically, Mickey pops in your mind, rightfully so. But Disney's IP is freaking huge, so they can literally go so many different ways. I mean, you got the big three, you got all the Disney originals, you got Star Wars, and you got Marvel. I mean, you can make something shake with that, and Fortnite is literally had every single Disney IP damn near in the game outside of I don't think they had Mickey or anything, but everything Star Wars, everything Marvel, they've done it already. So so this makes perfect sense. But yeah, the extraction shooter is clearly the new meta here. So we got extraction shooters and we got Souls like game. Those two are working hand in hand right now.
Actual Souls likes, man.
Yeah.
True.
People always take elements without understanding the soul of a Souls like.
We'll see. Yeah, I just refuse to believe that. I would not think that big old Disney has not even thought about or has not even already been 10-year development plan of making some sort of metaverse. Like I just refuse to believe that that's something that Disney's not considering right now. Because like they have that whole, imagination with all their engineers. And the whole thing is always getting them to physically come to the park. But I feel like Disney knows because the economy is getting worse and it's going to be harder and Disney World gets more and more expensive every year that I think a lot of people are going to get locked out of being able to even attend Disney World. I could totally see how some stupid, arrogant CEO or annoying executive suite would sit there and be like, what if we made Disney World for poor people? But it's virtual. They don't have to spend the money because what's the problem? They're going to spend thousands of dollars paying for the flight, then the room and board. What if we could just eliminate that cost and then they pay us $59.99 and they go to a virtual park and they can like live it, but in the virtual world.
We can update it every week.
Every week, yeah. I could totally see that. That's totally gone through someone's brain. I know it.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm good off that. I'm absolutely good off that. I'm good off the Disney extraction shooter. That thing would have to be mind blowing for me to be interested.
We'll see soon.
Yeah, we'll see. There has been a game that's been coming across my For You page, a new shooter that's not an extraction shooter, thank God, called War Dogs. It looks like it's trying to eat into Battlefield's market. And it has a very interesting game mode as well as some interesting game mechanics. The game mode, basically it's three large teams, and they're fighting to capture an objective. And what's the name? The team with the most players in the objective is the one that's going to be scoring. So it sounds like it's going to produce constant action because you're going to constantly kind of keep the other team's player counts down by constantly killing them. But then it also has like a unique money system that it's using for you to get your gear. So like the way that it works, and they explained it in the trailer, was you earn cash in matches by doing helpful things such as capturing points, supporting players like revives and stuff like that, playing the objective, anything positive. Then you lose cash for doing stupid shit, killing your teammates, not playing the objective. But then I think the thing that interests me the most was, and by the way, this cash carries over from game to game. So like you have like a bank account inside of the game. So then each game you'll be able to buy gear and stuff like that and save up money. But the thing that kind of interested me the most that I thought was unique was they're going to have like this gold bar system. They're going to have like a stock exchange inside of the game. So like during the season, you can trade your saved up cash for gold bars, which are the game special currency. And then you can exchange the cash that you earn from in games for those gold bars. And those gold bars can be used to be exchanged for like cosmetics. But the thing is, like, the price of the gold bar will go up and down in the game. So like the exchange rate will be different throughout the season. And they didn't really go into depth explaining how that was gonna work. I was confused by that. So I was hoping maybe you, Ethos, could give me some type of idea how it, because like, as somebody who invests a little bit, I understand, what can affect stocks. An example being, a war in the Middle East nobody wanted, that's making the price of oil go up. A new invention that's just so amazing, everybody's buying it, that can make the stock go up, as well as like a bad one. Like, there's a lot of different moving, things that can make a stock go up or down. But how does that work for a video game, and how do you keep that fun and interesting? You got any insight on that?
I mean, CS:GO is basically an online stock market for their skins. Like, I'm pretty sure games have done this before. I just can't remember the ones off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there's been a game or two that have tried to. What am I talking about? I'm an idiot. Of MMORPGs. That's a fundamental thing about MMORPGs, is that the entire trading system is built on a player-based stock market that players buy into and sell into. I remember when I played 14. When you do those screw that. What am I talking about? When I was a kid and I learned the fundamentals of the economy by playing RuneScape, that was basically RuneScape. We didn't have a physical stock market, but I remember that was like how you'd go get some friends, you'd go to a mine, you go mine, I'll go to the marketplace, and we'll set a price, and we'll base it off of the going price of how much people want to pay for ore, and we'll try to undercut the other person at the market by like 10 gold, and that will give us
Did you try and find people to sell you rare things at a low price so that you could bump it up? Later?
Yes. Yeah.
No,
all the time.
So basically, you're saying it's going to be supply and demand digitally then? The primary driver?
14 does it all the time, where it was like, so if the devs patch something, or like there was for example, like if the devs patched where there's going to be a big update, and let's say like armor was going to get updated, right? And let's say there was like a material you needed to upgrade your armor. That material then goes up in value because like people might be getting ready for the raid. So they desperately need this material. Now, some of them could just, spend a week mining and doing all this other crap side activity stuff in order for them to get that material so that then they can upgrade their gear. But most of them are going to be like, yo, where's my blacksmith at? And they'll go into the market, they'll find somebody, and they'll go to the market store and they'll find it. And the prices will just go up and down based off supply and demand. So if everyone's trying to get, this material for the raid, the price just skyrockets. And then when it's a down period where no one's raiding, then it just drops, and then, certain people might buy it. Or then you got people who try to manipulate the market. One of the biggest games I think when I was younger was EVE Online, was infamous for that. I think there's like stories about that. I've never played EVE, but I know there's like literal like documentaries about how it's like an entire massive PvP world where everything is built off of stocks, trades, and war. So it's like real life. And like they talk about how a team had infiltrated a massive organization, like a big team that existed in this world, and they had basically made them bankrupt by internally messing with the economics, and then causing them to have the stock market to crash, and causing like every stock that this big massive faction had basically to lose like value overnight. It was really fascinating story stuff. So yeah, I can totally see this is not nothing crazy. I think if they take the right inspirations and they have the right moderation tools to protect it from being manipulated, I think it could work.
I just never played a game like that. Okay, I was thinking.
You ever played an MMO? Never played no MMORPG?
I never, every MMO that I played hardcore, I never indulged in the story. Like it was buying the game wasn't enough for me. I didn't play RuneScape. I played Guild Wars too.
You never played RuneScape? That's crazy. JG, you play RuneScape?
I was playing Street Fighter versus X-Men online in the computer lab, bro. I wasn't playing no fucking RuneScape. What you know about that?
I was playing No, I was busy playing RuneScape.
But what about the gameplay? Does anybody have any thoughts on the gameplay? Does it look decent to anybody?
It's a shooter.
It looks like a military shooter. I was like, definitely not for me. But it's cool that they're doing something like a little bit interesting. And I also really like that they are very honest about this game is not for everyone. And I think we're going to start seeing more studios do that as a counter to, we're here to get all the players, and no matter who you are, what age, where you're from, come play our game. I think we will see more kind of counterculture studios being like, no, we're sticking to our vision. This is what we're making. It's not going to be for everyone, but if you're into this, you're going to be really into it. So I do appreciate that.
Agreed.
I'd say that speaks to how stupid people become, where devs got to come out and say our game's not for everybody, instead of just somebody saying, hey, this game's not for me. being able
Yeah,
to
it's because people just like they want everything handed to them. They want everything explained to them. They want to be able to get everything, no matter how much effort they put into anything. Like Destiny had a bunch of people complaining that they couldn't get like raid armor and raid weapons, and it's like, well, you have to do the raid to get the raid stuff, and they're like, well, I want everything. I shouldn't be locked out of getting anything, and that is unfortunately the type of players that we are surrounded by.
Unfortunate. Well, if that's the case, then how we feel about Fable being potentially delayed? This was announced just this morning. It is coming from
I was like, oh, what's this gonna be out?
Writer Jeff Grubb, who said apparently they're still trying to get it out this year, but they're worried about the launch of GTA 6, and so it's getting delayed beyond the release of GTA 6. That could push it into December, which might make it a prime candidate to be delayed into 2027.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Jeff Grubb is a reputable writer.
What's
He
your
is.
investor?
Yeah, you're a Fable fan.
Fable.
How we feeling about this potential delay? Not confirmed, but you know,
not confirmed, but oh man, Fable needs to just put the damn game out, man. Like, of course, I want it to be good, but this has been a game that has just been plagued by, "Hi guys, we're making a game." Okay, and then they disappear for a really long time, and then they come back and they're showing stuff that looks really good, and we finally have a release window, and now they're like, well, the release window might not even be correct. This is a game that we had a release date for, right? It was still a release window. So I'm like, we can't even get a window that's somewhat accurate. So it's kind of just annoying. I do want them to work on it and get it right, of course, but also the whole GTA thing. You're not going to want to come out within half a year of GTA after it's come out. Like, people play this game for a long time, and then when are they going to release the online of GTA? Because then, like, if you're trying to go up against all of that, there's never going to be a good time to release your game in the GTA cloud.
I'm hoping that it's not delayed for the simple fact that, like, I want GTA 6 to have as much competition as possible for Game of the Year, because I just like the fuckery. I like the anarchy. So and also the game looks good, so I want to get my hands on it. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, I always find it funny that, like, I mean, we already knew it was going to happen, but every time, like, if any game is going to release in November or around November, then GTA 6 is always the game that they mention as a potentially wise. Like, I don't want y'all to be scared to release a game around that time. Like, just give us the game. I think that once again, we talked about literally just War Dogs and how they're saying, hey, this game may not be for you. Even though people have been waiting on GTA 6 for a very long time, GTA 6 still is not for everybody. So I think there is an audience that, like, has no interest in playing GTA 6 that really want to play Fable and has been waiting on Fable for a very long time. You all have that type of audience. So I personally don't think that it would matter too much when you release. I would just hope and pray that, like, whenever you do release, if this is true or not, that it doesn't get buried, because that would be the thing that I don't want to see happen. But I don't want people to be scared and like, hey, we're just going to push back the release just because GTA 6 is coming out, because you already knew the window that GTA 6 was going to come out, and there's still a chance that game could be delayed again. Who freaking knows? We all don't know anything right now, so just release the damn game, like Watt said.
Ethos?
You're muted, brother.
You're muted yourself.
I love Fable. I am definitely excited to play it. I saw this news. I was like, it doesn't shock me that when they announced even it was going to be fall, I was like, one of these is going to have to get moved. Either Fable is going to maybe get moved out of the way, or GTA, which I'm still betting that I think GTA is still going to get moved to like February 2027 based off of everything that's happening. We're at April now, and I'm going to say if by June we don't get something big, like a big marketing push from GTA, that's going to be a further red alarm to me that, like, GTA is probably going to get pushed. But it would be funny. I think it's basically like everyone's like in a Mexican standoff. Like, everyone's got their gun ready, and they're all just like ready to pull, like, who's going to delay first, and then that'll be like, if GTA like hard
like
lock,
The Office.
yeah, like if there's like a hard lock on it, then all the rest of them are going to shoot each other and just run away into 2027. But if it's if GTA is the one that blinks first and they leave, then they're all shoot GTA, and then they're all going to rush. I'm pretty sure games are going to get pushed up, like games that like, and I think the big thing is going to be June. I think June, July, like that's going to be the big telling point. And then I think August, September. Yeah, I think August, September, that's like the last call on like, okay, we either go and we know GTA is like stuck in that date, and we try to go like 3 weeks or a month before GTA 6 comes out, or we just say screw it from like 2 weeks before GTA drops to the rest of the year. Nobody releases anything. Everybody's just gonna jump ship. I remember that's what happened with what was the game? There was a game that happened with recently.
Silksong?
Was it Silksong? No, it wasn't.
Silksong, a lot of devs were like,
lot of
Silksong's
indies.
coming,
Yeah,
I'm leaving.
I'm
And they were all
dodging this.
making little trailers to be like, oh,
We're
Silksong's
dodging
here.
this.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, it'll be like that all over again, where we saw like several people moving their marker of when this game was going to come out. So
I feel like it doesn't happen too often in video game, but when it does, I just laugh, like I chuckle. It happens a lot in music though, for sure. Like a Beyonce is dropping, or Drake's dropping, they like, nah, I'm good. I ain't releasing this week. I ain't releasing this Friday. Yeah. But like it doesn't happen too much in video games because like I would say honestly, there's not too many huge blockbusters that people are like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen with this, but everybody's going to be talking about it. But GTA is one of those games. Like, it happens every now and then.
Right? Like, Call of Duty, I think, was like always the biggest one.
For a while, but now nobody cares. Ain't nobody cares Call of Duty no more.
No one cares about Call of Duty. So I think the big one's always been like, get out of Call of Duty's release window. I think it was like either it's like November,
October, November. Yeah, always.
I remember, I think Assassin's Creed was also similar. When that was at the height of when it was. I remember there was a lot of that, like early, like late October, early November window. It was just like that was like Assassin's Creed was dropping around there, Call of Duty was dropping around there, and Battlefield was probably dropping somewhere around there. And a lot of people would be like, dodge that window, like don't.
That's back when there were like really no delays either. Like we all knew it, like it's coming out in October, it's coming out in November. Now we don't know.
I forgot to put it on the notes, but I read a rumor earlier this week that Microsoft is considered taking Call of Duty off the Game Pass, and if they do that,
I saw that.
Like, I don't know, man. I already canceled it. I'm definitely not coming back if you guys do that.
People were pissed about that potential. But I seen a lot of people in the thread. They were like, "Well, y'all better drop them prices." And I'm like, "You think Microsoft would do that? No. Come on now, don't be this. They're not gonna drop the prices." But I just find it super funny. Like if this happens, if this is for real, I'm like, you literally spent all of that money and all of the marketing dollars to be like, hey, Call of Duty is going to be on Game Pass. You literally switched up the tiers of the Game Pass for Call of Duty and be like, hey, all right, if you get the highest tier, then you'll get these games day one. So for you to potentially take it off of the Game Pass, I feel like that's a shot in the foot. But that also tells me that you are afraid of, again, going back to those expectations of what you want Call of Duty to do. And because you did not see that return on investment for the last Call of Duty because you got beat up by Battlefield 6, now you're panicking.
I feel like for most games they would have to get out of the way for GTA, but I feel like Fable, if it released around the same time as GTA 6, it'd be fine just because like I don't think the two audiences collide like that. Like, yeah, sure, all of us will play GTA and Fable, but I think most people who are looking forward to Fable probably could care less about GTA 6. Maybe not all, but I think the hardcore Fable fan is completely different from the hardcore like GTA fan, and they'll be fine. I think the only game that would really have to worry about like GTA 6 and getting out of the way is probably like if your game's called Horizon, because they keep getting bodied by fucking different.
That's why I love Horizon games. Every time Horizon is announced, I know, oh my god, we're gonna get a generational game this year.
Something's coming.
New Zelda.
I actually look forward now to seeing a new. I'm waiting for Horizon. I'm like, whenever
didn't Night Rain happen when something with Horizon happened too? And I was like, oh my god, Elden Ring.
Was it the Lego one?
It might have been.
It might have been. I know the first one was Breath of the Wild.
And then it was Tears of the Kingdom after that, literally right after.
And then
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring was what stomped out Horizon.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Elden Ring and Zelda's game.
Yeah, so remember, like I said, I played Horizon for like a day or two. I said, I want to go play Elden Ring now.
And I'd argue people who are fans of Elden Ring are probably more fans of Fable than GTA. That's what I think.
That would be fair, yeah.
I think Fable would be fine.
Elden Ring's now mainstream. I'd argue it's like mainstream like GTA now.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, there's probably a bunch of, because I mean, we watched like a bunch of people who never touched Souls games or even touch it. They would talk about it and be like, what is this Elden Ring thing? Everybody's talking about Elden Ring. What is this? And they'd give it a shot for the first time when they normally never touch that type of game.
Yeah,
so
true.
Maybe there's still that, you know, crossover for those two. Who knows?
The big bad boogeyman, GTA 6. That is all I got on the note. So it's time for the lightning round. down. You guys give me quick opinions on whatever this, whatever, you feel me? Borderlands Mobile. People were not big fans of Borderlands 4, but they actually seem to be big fans of Borderlands Mobile. It's currently sitting at a 4.4 on iOS. It's currently on iOS only. It's coming to Android eventually. It's produced by Zynga. It is a completely new game with new Vault Hunters, new original story. You can find gameplay online if you don't have an iOS device, and I'm not going to lie, it actually looks impressive. For a mobile looter shooter, you can play with a controller. You can play with the the touch controls. It looks like Borderlands, and if you read the reviews, like this top one right here says, "Hey, it feels like we're so back. 5 out of 5." Seems like they like this maybe more than Borderlands 4. Anybody playing Borderlands Mobile? Anybody?
I won't be playing it. No, Borderlands isn't really. I haven't really gotten into Borderlands. I always give it a try, and then I always end up bored.
Borderlands
Don't know why.
is one of the most overrated franchises, and I'll stand on that.
Ooh.
I don't think that's that hot of a take either. So,
no, because you say that about Borderlands 2, people will murder you. People think Borderlands 2 is God's gift.
They do have an audience.
They have a pretty big audience.
People love Borderlands 2. Now I can crap on 3 and 4 easily. I think even the community craps on 3 and 4, but I think 2 is like this holy grail. You cannot touch 2. 2 is one of the greatest looters. I'll give it credit. It did, because I think it was the big inspiration for Destiny. So if you want to blame somebody, you can blame Borderlands.
I do remember making it popular, but I still don't remember loving it.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the first looter shooter. It might have been the first.
I think it was the first one I played.
Yeah, I think it was the first.
At least on consoles, but I can't think of any other thing before that.
Like brought it into the mainstream, so I mean and then I think Bungie took inspiration of because I remember when Destiny was coming out, it was like a big talking point about there's looting guns in this game, and it's like that, but it's not. But I remember Bungie was like, it's not like Borderlands, like it's not like we're not giving you millions of guns, like that's not our intention to do that, but.
At bare minimum, I always like to say it looks cool to see how far like mobile games have come, because also the Division's coming out with like a mobile version too. So it's like, there's something for everybody if you don't got like the latest console.
Destiny Rising, and people said it's getting more content than Destiny 2 right now.
Hey, because the mobile gamers pay for shit, man.
Yeah, people were saying the raid was really good. There was like a new raid that Destiny Rising put out, and they're like, this is like a really good raid.
I said, why are you guys complaining? There's a whole brand new game over there for y'all to play.
You can play it on your PC. Just download the damn emulator, bro. Play mouse and keyboard.
They even have like they have a like official emulator.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you can play it on PC.
There's rumors that Steam is working on a new frame rate software or some type of thing for your PC, where basically Steam will be able to read the hardware on your PC and then estimate how many frames you can get for a game. Basically, is this something that we would welcome to the platform?
Yeah.
I think that's cool, but it might be a little too nerdy. I don't think the average person with a PC is going to be looking at this, but I think it is nice for like the people who truly care and want to see like what potential frame you can get.
I think it depends on how they implement it, right? If they make it very easy to where like you go to the Steam page to buy a game, and right there where the game's description, it also has like right above the description, we estimate based off your hardware, you can average 75 frames. But if they do it like that, where you don't have to dig into the settings, I think this would be great.
Okay. Okay. So like you do a one time, like it recommends, hey, do a one time test. All right, and then it'll analyze your data, and if it's like a permanent, like, hey, all right, this game will get blah 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 frame. Yeah, I think
because imagine people who are new to PC, like that would be very helpful for them to know, like make them feel comfortable purchasing the game.
So pending how they roll it out, because if it's buried somewhere, then I don't think that if
it's buried in the settings, no. But if it's
something right there, I think that would be really helpful, and then people won't get a game and go, this game runs at like 30 FPS on my PC, why is that? And they won't complain like, guys, I'm on a 1080, why is this game not available at 4K 100 FPS?
Yeah, it was so much Discord. Like I feel like with any game that's like halfway broken on Steam, like you always have in the comments is like, all right, this game runs like crap, and then the next comment is always, well, what are your specs? Like everybody's like, what are your specs? Because you may have a toaster, and I know it did. You just got to keep going back and forth. Yeah, if there was like something plastered that says, hey, like I have this, and I'm getting these frames, and I think that would be cool. So yeah, it really is going to come down to how they market this to determine whether this will be a super helpful feature. But I think overall, yeah, it's a good feature.
By the way, we just disagreed, so comment section.
We did disagree. We did disagree.
I can start crying. Nickelodeon just announced a competitor to Mario Tennis called Nickelodeon Extreme Tennis Next. I don't know why they put a next at the end. 1 minute trailer. It's coming to PS5. Anybody? Nickelodeon Tennis?
Nintendo's lawyers just popped in the chat, and they are going to file a patent on characters using tennis rackets to hit it back and forth over a net.
Nintendo's also side-eyeing your next story. They're still here. They're in the whole podcast waiting.
People mad at Nintendo. Y'all saw them Avatar leaks this morning?
What? Why they mad at Nintendo?
Oh, I did.
Not Nintendo.
Yeah.
Not Nintendo. Nickelodeon. My bad. Nickelodeon. My bad. The Avatar movie leaked on Twitter allegedly.
Is that the one like actually by the creators and not?
Yeah, the one where their adventures as an adult.
Interesting.
Freaking in an era where people love to say this looks like a mobile game or this looks like a PS2 game. It breaks my heart to say it, but it actually does. This shit looks horrible. It
doesn't look good.
Frame rate dropping into this is not a PS5 game. No, thank you.
Nickelodeon has a lot of L's, bro. Maybe sometimes they just make games. You're like, what? Who is this really supposed to be marketed to? I feel like it doesn't. It looks like a Flash game. Like damn near half the stuff that they come out with. But every now and then they'll catch one lowercase W, but it still doesn't end up being anything that's again, going back to expectations, it's not a $1 billion selling game. It's just going to appeal to a very, very small subset of audience. So I don't think this is going to make anything shake.
You can tell these games are greenlit by people who think that their games will sell based off of nostalgia and just the Nintendo brand, but they have no idea what makes a good game, which is unfortunate. Last week we covered that Nintendo lost a lawsuit to file a patent. Well, they lost the right to the patent to basically be able to create a monster battling video game. And this week we have a story that No Man's Sky dropped an update for a Pokemon style battle arena mode called Xeno Arena, which is good because also this past week, what was it? That Pokemon Champions came out and they said that shit was ass. Did I say that?
They did. I've heard it's ass. I was really looking forward to it because I remember playing Pokemon Stadium back in the day. And it was so cool that I had these Pokemon that I got in other games and I was able to put them. I mean, at this point, it was in full color 3D. Back then when I was playing Pokemon, it was not in full color or 3D. So having it on Stadium and having it look like that was such a cool thing. I was like, damn, they're bringing it back and you can connect your other Pokemon games. And I've heard it's just really bad.
Yeah, according to this tweet, Pokemon Champions has less Pokemon than Pokemon Stadium 2. It launched with no 6v6 battles, even though they advertised it. They said it runs like dog shit. It's slow, it's clunky. Always online required. Tons of items removed. You got to pay for rental space. That's what I knew this game was going to fail. When they was asking people to pay to save your Pokemon on the game, I'm like, that should just be on
crazy.
Be on the cartridge,
what
guys.
the hell?
But yeah, No Man's Sky.
So No Man's Sky said, "Hold my beer, I'll do it."
Yeah, and from my understanding, it's actually pretty fun. From what I was looking on Twitter, people said they fucking with it. This game might have, between this and Cyberpunk, one of the greatest comebacks ever we've ever seen in a video game. Just a random Pokemon mode in there.
No Man's Sky is just okay, we're gonna add this now. We're gonna add this. We're gonna add this, all for free, by the way. And
now you get this money from. I've been told that the studios are crying and begging. They're not making enough money. How are they doing this? Where's the DLC? Where's the microtransactions? It doesn't make sense.
Good question. Good
How are
question.
they funding this?
California.
Where's he based? Where's No Man's Sky studio based?
Let's find out. Yeah, let's want to know.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, well, y'all figure that out. Star Wars Eclipse development is still alive and going very slow. For those who don't remember, Star Wars Eclipse is the game that's made by the people who made Detroit Don't Become Human. It's supposed to be like a true Detroit Don't Become Black Android. It's supposed to be like a choose your own adventure Star Wars game. For a while, people thought it was dead, but they came out and released a statement and said, no, it's not. We were eager to share more. It's just things are coming along slow. Do we care about this?
I almost forgot about this.
I'm excited to play a Star Wars game.
I'm interested, but also like, how slow are we talking? When is it coming out? Let me know when we're like within a year.
Yeah. Don't tell me anything unless you're ready to
Don't
go.
tell me.
Yeah.
I'd rather just forget and then be, I almost forgot about this.
Give us an ETA on the trailer to make us feel better. At least we know you're moving towards something.
Stop teasing me. You know,
Exactly.
just get me like, oh, it's. I want, like Ethos said, I want to forget that it exists and then get excited when you bring me a new trailer that has a release date within a year, and then I can be excited.
Yeah. Hello Games, by the way, is in Guildford, UK. So can't blame California for this.
EA is. California?
No.
Guildford has.
No.
There's a lot of game dev studios in Guildford. I think Larian is also there.
Yeah.
Dang, time to blame the Guildford then. All right, new target.
I mean, Dell told, at least he was saying on Twitter, he said that the UK gaming industry is basically devastated right now. I didn't even know that.
Did he go into detail on why?
I'd have to. I could ask him, but like the last he told me, he said like it was like when he was over there last, he said that like it was like because of what happened and with the COVID things. He said a lot of studios got shut down. I think it was the Splash Damage got hit. Like a lot of UK studios got hit. I don't know if obviously No Man's Sky didn't get hit, but a lot of those studios did get hit over there. He said that a lot of those like medium studios are basically gone now. Unfortunate. But that's California, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, sure.
New Mortal Kombat 2 trailer drop. Movie drops May 8th. Does anybody care?
It's hard for me to like be excited about Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter movie?
I think they're both gonna be ass. I'm not playing the trailer either because I'm not trying to get a copyright strike. So y'all can look at this picture.
I'll listen. If people want to come over and watch it at my house for like a fun little like let's watch a cheesy movie day, I'm down. But besides that, I think I'm good.
Yeah,
I would watch it on the streaming service because that's where I watched the last one. But like this one's supposed to be coming to movie theaters. I wouldn't pay movie theater because the thing is like 2 movie ticket prices. That's like $20 right here in California. Then the popcorn's $100,000. Like it's too much to go to the movies for this.
Yeah, I'm not going to the movie for this or Street Fighter. I'm going to wait on both.
When I saw Andrew Schultz, I was like, that's straight to Netflix for me. I'm not watching Street Fighter, bro. Yeah, I know that. I know it's not going to be funny.
True.
What else I got for you? The lead developer behind Samson, which just released this past week to very bad reviews. It's this year's Mind's Eye, pretty much. It's just a broken mess. If you guys haven't seen the montages of bugs and glitches, when talking to the press, he acknowledged that he knew the game was in a broken state when releasing it, but he appreciates everybody buying it and they're working hard to fix it. I found this statement to be very interesting because do you think he would have said this before the release of the game? Like, I feel like this article is like trying to make it look like he's the good guy for like trying to clean things up. But I'm like, you just admitted you knew the shit was broken. So why not just delay it?
What would make you look like a good guy and honest would be before and being like, look, game's coming in hot. It's got problems. We're working to fix it, but we want to get it out there. We're going to fix it with your help or whatever. But to do it after, like, yeah, I knew it was broken, but I released it and didn't say anything. It's like, that doesn't make you look like the good guy. Also, this game, I didn't actually know about this game at all. It was totally a blind spot for me. And this game, I've been asked more than a lot of other games if I'm going to play it. So I don't know what's going on there. Do they have like a hardcore fan base going on? I don't know. But yeah,
I missed this one too, Watts. Yeah, I missed this one too. I don't know.
Not on my radar.
I saw this. We talked about it. See, look at my good memory. We talked about this game before it was announced. It was the guy that did what's the name of that one with all the explosions and destruction?
Just Cause.
Yes, it was made by one of the, I think the creator or the people behind Just Cause, and it was a teaser, and they just showed the picture of the city. That's all we knew about it at the time. We were just like, well, I can't get nothing from this, but cool.
That's probably why it was so forgettable. Then.
That's probably you forget because they didn't really showcase a lot. This one, and then when they did showcase it a couple weeks ago, or it was a couple months ago, it was just like, oh, okay, looks cool. Like it looks like some like like RoboCop 80s type of movie game type thing. But,
it's always the most random games, like because. It wasn't just you, Watts. A lot of people in my chat were asking, "You gonna play Samson?" I'm like, that game. It looked bad to me, so I was like,
they want to see you. They want to see you.
They pick the most random games to get excited for, but then you'll try to tell them about Pragmata. They'll be like, "No, what's that shit, bro? Oh no, I don't know. Y'all don't got the eye. I don't know."
You're chasing GTA, I guess. There's just.
I think that's what it is. That GTA high, they're looking for it. The director for Majora's Mask said that what's the name? The movie could ruin the special Link not speaking thing. He says that could ruin the magic of the series. Basically, there's no confirmation on whether or not Link will speak in the movie, and he speaks that, and he says if he does speak, it might ruin the magic of the games. And I didn't really think about this much, but do we care whether or not Link speaks in the upcoming live action Zelda movie?
I kind of just assumed that he would speak because it's a movie. I don't know if people are particularly well versed in making silent movies these days. And silent movies, back in the day, they were pretty short. So I don't know.
True.
How a silent movie
I see
for
what you
2 hours is gonna go.
I see what somebody-
I don't agree with the statement that and it's different for everybody, but for me, Zelda never felt magical because Link didn't speak. It felt magical because of the world that they crafted. When you first enter the open world, and granted, it looks like ass now, but back when I was a kid, that shit was mind blowing. When you first entered Hyrule and you got to go around the grasslands, when you got to Gerudo Valley and all the baddies was there dancing and shit. Yeah, like that. It felt like he was on a real adventure. It had nothing to do with he didn't speak. So it was the world that they crafted. That being said, if he does, I don't even know what to expect because he doesn't speak. I guess as long as we get some nods to the game, just let me get a few and I'll be good in a minute.
Just have good writing. Just write him well, and it will be great.
Yeah,
I think it'll be fine. I don't care if he speaks or not.
Yeah.
There's a rumor floating around. Take it with a super grain of salt because I don't trust this source. That Nintendo's considering pitching a Luigi's Mansion movie. Would you want that?
I think too early, potentially too early for it to bust out because I don't know.
No,
I don't know how people feel about
already.
Luigi's
Mansion. What you mean? It's too.
I don't
early.
know how people. I don't know how people feel about Luigi's Mansion. I still feel like it's one of those cult classics as far as video games.
That's what that feels like to me.
Yeah, not a full-fledged movie.
I said that's like a Disney Plus TV show type of vibe. I feel like it's one of those things where it could be good if it's explored through a TV series and not a movie.
We're more fleshed out.
Yeah, flesh it out, make it more a lower budget.
I prefer a TV show, actually.
Yeah, I feel like that'd fit more Luigi's Mansion.
It's funny too because Mario games don't really have the best stories, but Luigi's Mansion has a deeper story than the Mario games. But y'all are saying TV show.
I just like TV shows better. In terms of really fleshing out characters in a world, I think TV, obviously they have a much larger amount of time to do that.
Oh, my brother's stuck in another painting. I love Luigi's Mansion. That shit is fucking charming. And then last but not least, more media. The Metal Gear Solid movie is back in better than ever. It is greenlit. It is coming. And the person in charge leading the way, directing it, also has worked on a movie video game before. Specifically, he's worked on the 2015 Straight to Crackle Dead Rising Watchtower. What's this doing for you, Jay?
I don't know, because it also says that he did Final Destination Bloodlines. So
was that a good movie?
Not really. And I love Final Destination. The first two were cool, but I don't know. That kind of has me a little on the fence about it. So we'll see. Metal Gear Solid, I feel like it'll be tough to make and capture the essence of Kojima here. So that'll and are you going to involve him in any form or fashion? Can he even do anything with it? I don't even know. Yeah, if he can't do anything with it and you're just going to make it, just based off of Konami giving you the green light, I just don't know. I think this is the wrong franchise to try to make a movie for, to be honest.
Yeah, in the article, they do acknowledge and thank Kojima for his contributions in creating the series, but it does not confirm whether or not he will be brought on to help produce the film. If he's not there, pack this shit up. And I'm leaning toward he's not going to be there. And also, look up the trailer for that movie.
He already has to deal with Sony. Kojima. He's making
for Kojima Productions, but doesn't Konami own Metal Gear though?
Yeah, he's not. There's no way in any reality I think Kojima even touches Metal Gear.
So this movie's gonna be ass then.
Konami got it on lock.
Yeah.
Look up the trailer, Dead Rising Watchtowers. That Straight to Crackle shit. I looked it up on YouTube. It looks fucking horrible. I said, "Oh my lord, no, thank you. This movie is gonna be Masuda."
And I love Dead Rising too. I didn't even know about this.
So I didn't know Dead Rising had a movie either. First of all, Crackle doesn't even exist anymore, and that was a Straight to Crackle exclusive. It's not even on Tubi.
Yeah, where can I find this? I kind of want to see this train wreck. Where can I find this?
The trailer's on YouTube if you want to check it out. I was like, I don't know about that one, man. That's all I got on my show notes. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add to the show before we wrap this one up?
No, sir.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, ladies first. Watts, what's your closing statement for episode 185? Go.
I will miss you guys while I'm in Japan. I'll be back in 2 weeks. But I should have shorts of stuff that I'm doing in Japan and the Pragmata playthrough. So I'll be here, kind of. I'm excited to see what you guys think about Pragmata as well.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Very excited.
Okay. Ethos, what's your closing statement for episode 185? Go.
You know what time it is? Time for another recommendation. I'm pulling my wish list. Give me a second. Yes, today I was gonna say Dead as Disco, but I didn't know we were gonna talk about today. So that's one that JG said that he was really messing with. Another one that I have a recommendation with today is called Screamer. I've seen this actually on my Twitch I've seen it actually shown through Twitch commercials.
It's a racing game?
Yes, it's a anime story based racing game, like drifting racing game. So you play in a racing game, but it adds like a sort of like telltale story with an anime aesthetic. So yeah, that sounds like up your alley. Check it out.
This is pretty
It's
cool.
on Steam. Yeah, it's got a 80 right now on Steam. So don't go into thinking, oh, this is gonna be one of the greatest games of all time. But if you're looking for really cool racing game, check it out.
Looks like something Need for Speed fans will like. Probably put it on the Steam wish list. Jay, closing statement for episode 185. Go.
Hey, appreciate everybody, and we're gonna keep talking these games. I can't wait for Pragmata. One thing I want to say is, even though TBH and Watch, you have been saying really good things about the optimization of Pragmata. I'm really hoping that I get that green check mark for it being Steam Machine certified. But if not, TBH put me on. I've known about the Backbone for a long time, but I did not know that it had Steam Link built into it. So I purchased one because I said, if I'm going to get any sort of time to earn my fun in Crimson Desert, I gotta play it. I gotta play it when I have some downtime at work. So I got one, and I am happy to say, because I have perfect internet at home, the game plays smoothly on my phone with the Backbone. So I had so just in case, the Backbone is going to be a just in case device for me. So for some reason, if a game is not Steam certified like Neo and Crimson Desert, then I'm going to play the game on my phone using the Backbone. So for anybody who's on the go, if you got Steam and a good internet connection, and where you are is a good internet connection, and you got a decent phone, because I have the Pixel 10 folds here. So it's great for me. It's like a small tablet for me. So the game looked great. So I was like, damn, I was like highly impressed in that Backbone. And what
I
it could do.
tell you, the best part too is with the Backbone, because you're streaming the game to your phone. I paid attention to it. I would say you get a good 10% out of your battery for every 2 to 3 hours. It does not kill your battery at all. So you can do very long sessions on that joint. And in my opinion, I think that PlayStation Portal is a waste of fucking money. That shit is $200 and it does less than the Backbone. With the Backbone in your phone, you can stream the PS5 games and the Steam games for $100. And they be on sale at Costco for like 30 if you catch it at the right time. So you can get more for less. That's why I be trying to have it.
Is that like all it
is? It's a controller that plugs into your phone basically via USB-C or Lightning, depending on which phone you have.
So like it's an app that you download and it just talks to the.
It has an app too. Yeah, and you can record too with the app too to your phone.
Does
like
that trigger
stuff.
like actual triggers or
it has the full thing. I have the PlayStation one, so it has all the PlayStation buttons. There's the Xbox one too.
Yeah, I need one for my good mobile game I've been playing.
So you just leave your PS5 or your PC on in like sleep mode, and then you can just play from your phone, like whatever. As long as you got good internet. Cool. And then my closing statement is I'm gonna shout out an indie game that I thought was cool, which it's called Alabaster Core, I believe. Alabaster Dawn. The art style is fire on this shit, bro. I put this on the Steam wish list. It reminds me a lot of Golden Sun. It's made by the people who made Crosscode. So I am looking forward to this one because it does a really cool thing with the art style where it's like 2D and 3D at the same time. Looks like it's got really interesting combat. It's got a whole story there. I like it. I like it. It's unique. It caught my eye. Sometimes that's all it takes. So shout out to Alabaster Dawn. I think this one's worth probably checking out. And then the other thing I wanted to say, I forgot to mention this earlier, but since the last podcast, I beat another game that JG and Ethos have not beat, which was Super Meat Boy 3D. So since I beat another game and good game, by the way, final recommendation on that. If you got to buy it, wait for a Steam sale. I gave it like a 7.5. The camera's a little frustrating. I think it works better as 2D. But if you have Game Pass, play it on Game Pass. It's free. It's a good game though overall. But if you made it this far into the podcast, leave a comment. Since I beat Super Meat Boy 3D, put hashtag in the comments, hashtag TBH beat his meat.
Oh my God.
Other than that,
also, one more thing. If the audio is better, also let us know in the comment section below.
It was.
I can tell you, I can tell you, but you don't gotta let the comments. No crackling, my brother. No crackling. Yes, I think he goes
anything about it.
Ethos updated his PC chat.
Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna rant for a minute. The reason, I don't know if this is the reason, but I found that my PC had not upgraded Windows 11 for months. It had been trying over and over again in the background, but it kept saying fail. And I was like, I finally looked at it and I was like, oh, my PC hasn't updated its Windows 11 version. So I try to figure out why. So I open Windows 11, when you prompt it to fix itself to just make it update to whatever version. I hit it and it tries to open a box and it says, okay, we're going to prepare things to upgrade you to the new version of Windows 11 slop. And then right when it tries to do it, it says error. I can't do this because there's an outdated driver on your machine that's called CO code something. I've never heard of this driver before. I didn't even know it was on my computer. So I spent literally 2 hours researching, going online, trying to figure out where this thing was from. I found that it was a part of a older company. They got bought out by another company, so I had to go on their website. They were trying to make me pay for the app. I'm like, there ain't no way in hell I'm paying for your app to get this driver. So then I found out, going deeper, 3 pages deep into a Microsoft form, that it was part of a MSI center that had incidentally in the background downloaded it, and that I no longer use that. So it was just hidden on my computer as some turned off feature driver. So I had to then go through the command prompt, tell it to turn itself off, then to delete itself. I had to go into my System 32. It was a lot of work. See, that's why my camera was dying too.
I was like, your camera's blurring out.
It was a lot of work.
Hot ass breath all over the fucking camera.
You understand. It was a lot of BS, bro.
God.
I just want to say, if astronauts can go to space and they have problems with Microsoft software, it's okay. I can have problems with Microsoft software. That's it.
You are allowed to have problems.
Don't buy PC. You see what Ethos had to go through?
I was so mad, bro.
That's why the Steam machine coming, bro. That's why it's coming. So that being said, hashtag in the comments, TBH beat his meat. Hit the like button, hit the hype button, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Game Illuminati podcast. Peace. Sausage Fest inbound.